Yo, what's going on, everybody? Xanthos Vice here, and we are back with some more Punch Great Raven. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Yeah, don't worry. We're still doing the Atelier Yumiya stream. I'm just doing it later because I was like, I could do 2 streams today since I do have the time for it. And I was like, okay, which one would I have more energy, or what time would I have more energy into, like, doing the or voicing the dialogue for PGR? And then when I pondered it a bit, I was like, probably better to do it during the day, so then during the night I can just chill with Atelier Yumiya, considering I don't really have to voice a lot of stuff anyway, so that's why I decided to do this. Anyway, where we last left off, we finally kicked off with the last chapter that I need to catch up to before I'm all caught up with the main story. And it's already doing pretty good so far because it is tying into a lot of other things as well. Because, one, I finally have a greater understanding of who exactly Lillian is, or whose side she really is on. And once again, we're back to dealing with remnants of Kurano's research that they've been trying to do, but with the cloning and everything. I think they actually successfully made a clone of Nolan. It's like, god damn it, are you serious? But yeah, also dealing with stuff like about Lamia, and I guess also with the Commandant as a whole, because to be fair, when it comes to a lot of the action, he doesn't really have time to think about himself or his problems and all that kind of stuff. It's saying he's always in the center of everything, whether he would like it or not. But this time it's like he's dealing with the fact that, oh shit, now everyone else, or a bunch of other people, actually do know his secret. Which the fact that he can't become a consort. I didn't even think that was anything that was like going to be warranted as something significant. But it's like, when you think about like how everything works, like Babylonia and how much trust they have, especially when labeling him a hero, it really does hold a lot more weight with the fact that he can't become a consort, because a hero is supposed to be a pillar for society as a hope for a better tomorrow, right? But if they know that he can't become a consort, then it just makes it that much more fragile if he was to fail someday. Because a person can only succeed for so long without any faults, so the fact that it's like now even the enemy actually knows about it, it's a lot more of a dangerous spin to it. Plus, finally having a better understanding as to what the Heterohive Mother research was even about, being given the foundation from Project Attila, which was initially started for that very reason. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to do as much as we can with this as we left off, because I only did like, what, 20%-ish last time, so I'm hoping we at least get to like 75%, so then we're a good ways away, and I'll only need one more stream just to cover that. So yeah, anyway, we're about to get started with that now. And again, also starting to learn about Lithos as well as an individual. Once the call's cut off, Lamia temporarily reverts to her original appearance. His on her legs indistinguishable from a human's lost in thought. The orphanage. Back in Atlantis, she had wished countless times to leave the place sooner and see what the real world was like. What happens after that? Wanna bet on your luck? Wanna bet that you'd be sent to a legal orphanage instead of getting dragged into some inhumane experiments? No child who falls into that kind of hell has it easy. Premature death might actually be a mercy. Those unfortunate enough to survive spent decades trying to escape the trauma. Personally, I think, compared to those people, ascendants aren't so bad. With a smile, she handed over her identity to Lamia. It is an interesting quandary too, because, again, usually having an orphanage is like the whole world hasn't given up on them yet. They're giving them a sense of hope that they can find a home someday and actually find their own happiness. At least, that's how it is nowadays. At least I would hope so. But it's like, when it comes to the whole punishing virus kind of thing, we have seen examples of where people had used them as a ways of just getting more test subjects. We've seen what they've done with Luna, with the whole Project Winter and everything. It's like, when you take that big scope, Ascendants are kind of lucky in their own way, because sure, they deal with the punishing virus and all that and becoming the enemy of the rest of the world, but at least they are living freely as they decide to. Like, they get to choose how their fate is set. They get to make those decisions, and they aren't really held up by, like, the politics going on, the regulations placed upon them, wondering if they'll create an even worse image of themselves. Gabriel's disappearance didn't faze her. Bond and Alpha were constantly busy doing what they could for Luna. She'd grown accustomed to that too. Even a certain human who used to contact her often said his wish has been fulfilled. There's no need for them to remain in regular contact. Even Lillian found a better, more reliable place to be. That was how those who had formed fragile bonds with her in the past all left in the end, one after another. She's not utterly clueless regarding what to investigate. She'd just rather avoid it if possible. She detected a large concentration of red tide under the ground at the end of the corridor, alongside a punishing hetero-hive with extremely high concentration. How she cleared the red tide, exposed the target, and then lured those two unsuspecting individuals over here. This is exhausting. Or for how dire the situation is, she'd have snuck off to an unnoticed corner and spent her time gazing at the sea, or the sky, indulging trivial thoughts for at least a blissful moment. As she's determined, her body refused to cooperate. Says again, looked down at the basic terminal they gave Lillian, Mermaid's hand holding it. There are many dangers here, just like the Graver Commandant said. Cooperation is essential to defeating Lithos and possibly escaping. Lemmy was included as part of the team under Lillian's identity. All that was just a lie after all. How much longer can she keep this lie going? Once exposed, she'll be attacked from all sides. She's no stranger to this feeling of belonging nowhere. The Mermaid Princess and Daughter of the Sea gave up her fishtail in order to walk among humans. The palace, no matter how magnificent, was never meant for her. A Mermaid Princess. Sounds a bit too lavish a title for her. I mean, it feels way more like a lone one undercover in a crowd of humans. Astonished, she finds it even harder to continue her investigation. Might as well pretend to have lost the terminal, she tells herself. That way she can rest here for a while longer, accompanied by her melancholic thoughts and mental exhaustion. As long as no one finds out she isn't sacking off, no investigations are smoothly carried on. As long as no one sees. A faint breeze drifts through the silent corridor. How can there be wind in this kind of place? Nightmarish fiction. Oh god. Ah, great, Loki's here. Ah, great, she's in Panther form. Fan-fucking-tastic. Wait, what? Oh, she's doing like... What's that? Oh, please. Oh, shit. Please? Whew. Barely survived that one. Much harder to actually see what I was doing because of all the water. The illusion collapses and the surrounding scenery reverts to its original state.
I did it.
Lemmy stays down on her hands in disbelief. First time she defeated a Transcendent all by herself. It's Loki, no less, who's an adept attacker. The joy was short-lived, for her defeated opponent soon shakily rising from the floor. As they're spurred on by her own cries of agony, Loki expands her battered wings, hoping to ascend to the narrow tunnel.
I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you. You were the one who attacked me first.
Loki can't hear Lamia's protests amid the chaos. Driven by rage and despair, she orders the Lamia fall. She hoping to escape from this cramped cage? She won't tire this body she's imprisoned in. Freeze Goose's actions seem to be dictated by her overflowing pain. Even though she clearly sees Lamia dodge, she still chooses to charge in the same direction led with Rush. Forced the ramming tears apart her already shattered frame completely. The caged Goose, finally having nothing left to give, sinks into her mother's embrace along with... Oh my god, is that Cadilla?
What is that?
Growing red tide spiders everywhere, filling her face as serene as a statue. In her embrace, Loki's cry gradually weakened, her unquenchable fury dissolving under this bizarre giant tree like a bill of water. The woman whose form was completely merged with the giant trees tenderly embraced the dying figure in her final moments. Lamia remains frozen in place for a full minute before mustering up the courage to cautiously approach the strange tree. Its roots are submerged in the red tide. Lamia can keenly sense that the red tide beneath the ground she saw before had in fact originated from these very roots. They're buried underground in the room. The red tide flows through them as if they were blood vessels. Looking up, she sees objects resembling blood bags hanging from the treetop, also absorbing the red tide transported over by the roots. She can even see some wriggling creatures inside them. They're just like the artificial wombs I read about in the materials.
Could it be that those weird hetero creatures were born from here?
Steps into the red tide, hoping to pluck a bag for closer observation. A strange twitching from underneath her feet nearly drags her under the ground. She shoots up in horror and flees the area, narrowly escaping being entangled in the roots. She senses buried secrets below, causes the need for a deeper investigation into the red tide disturbance. However, the sticky feeling clinging to her legs makes her utterly unwilling to approach the spot again. Soon, she notices that the walls are covered in honeycomb-shaped metal shelves, resembling cremation furnaces. Smashes open a sealed shelf door and pulls out a huge jar from inside. His soaked body, facial features completely indistinguishable.
All the limbs have been removed. The frame's so small. Is this Lithos?
Right at the moment, the red tide beneath the tree begins to pulsate strangely again. She knows she can't just keep dragging it out. Lamia shoots her weapon and reverts to Lillian's form. Also Lillian's makeshift terminal, ready to call for Lillian's reinforcements. Perhaps the impact from the battle, or the previous battle, was too great. The quality of the makeshift terminal was poor to begin with. No matter how Lamia fiddles with it, she gets no response.
Is it broken?
To add insult to injury, the strange surge of echoes overtakes her senses once more.
Stay calm. It's nothing to be afraid of.
Tiptoes closer to the giant tree adorned with embryos, peering into the red tide underneath the woman.
Are those eggs?
As if drawn by an irresistible force, Lamia reaches out her trembling hands and lifts out from the blood-red abyss an egg that's pulsating like a heart. That instinct, countless vivid illusions flood her vision.
It's over. Quandary.
Always. Memories? Vision of the future. Cyclops in pain, was just needing to turn into peace upon the vessel.
This is mine. I'm not giving it to anyone.
There's sensations of a little child. Control of her body. Blood is flowing out of the skull and water.
Rest in peace. Try to tell your eternal grave at the bottom of the sea. But I have to to worry about anything. This isn't right. We're turning into a marionette who surrendered everything to the monstrosity in our hands. This is the punishment you deserve, Ascendant. Something eyes are filled with malicious intent. You should already know that even if you attain the key, you still won't be able to reach the Tower Sun. Yet, you still caught a gunshot from inevitable death out into the boundless darkness by the ice-cold waves. We'll open our eyes again under the ghastly fluorescent lights of our medical unit. Is that nothing? Those bodies can by green search for traitors, which wounds highly ghastly. Director, it's Olivia's child. It's a girl. No, isn't that type of technique? It's another person over there. Memories aren't capable of the response. But behind the current sense of control to help us body. Finally, turn to my son. Please take me back. Turn to me. If you think to me once again, this time I would surely do that. Please, stir the emotions of being closely intertwined with you. Bring a sense of sorrow and yearning that binds the two even tighter together. It's one more step forward. So, sir. It's one more step forward and she'll be able to touch the member she never met. Holy shit. Was Lamia from her like making contact with Cathilla able to get her to the Ascension Network? And then she was able to peer into the future. Oh god. Great. So somehow, unless we change something, I'm supposedly supposed to die and then Lee will kill her as consequence. But the key, what would that mean? Is it for to pass the next trial, possibly? But I haven't even seen a place where we would have the next trial yet. Unless it's maybe even further in the future. She wakes from the illusion and finds herself back in the cold, silent reality. She is shocked, the egg in her hand, and falling back into the pool. What were those visions just now? Lemmy had no idea, and she has an inexplicable feeling that it's exactly what Luna's searching for. Oh, right, the key. Are you insane? Jumping into the red tide with your arms around a hetero creature? I'm so sorry. Backs away, almost tripping over a jar that was pulled out. Sorry. I got carried away. Shouldn't have used that harsh tone. Half an hour has passed and no word from you. So we came looking for you, only to find you here zoning out with a hetero creature in your embrace. The commander was practically scared stiff. I was attacked. Loki was here. Loki? Are you okay? Did she hurt you? Huh? In fact, it's the first time anyone's apologized to Lemmy after scolding her. It's the first time someone ever asked her if she was hurt. Usually when she reported she had been attacked by an enemy, Luna and Roland would simply ask if she won the battle. As for Alpha, she'd barely react. I'm fine. She crashed to the floor while charging at me. I fell down here with her. She was already wounded then and ended up being consumed entirely by that red tide over there after the fall. I wanted to check if she was truly gone, but I began hallucinating immediately when I took a few steps in that direction. You were very close to the red tide. The fact that you didn't turn into a corruptor is already a miracle in itself. Yeah, luckily you guys arrived so soon. I think I was only stuck there for a couple seconds. You should establish a mind connection with me. It'd be too dangerous otherwise. No, there's no need. How did you two get here so quickly? We encountered some bizarre little creatures on the way. Oh yeah, those ones right there. When you mentioned that someone could be guiding us along, I thought of them immediately. I was also guided by them. These little creatures usually tend to lead the way? I have no idea. It's not like others needed guidance before. Wouldn't be able to get out no matter what anyway. I'd love to catch one for research, but they always moved out of the way as soon as I reached out. They even led me straight to our enemies. Thought they would let us as guards or something. Oh, they moved out of the way? Didn't they do the same for you? Raise your hand, those jellyfish-like phantoms come swarming over, circling you gently before tenderly touching the wounds on your hand.
Wait, don't move.
It feels over, but just as she's about to pounce upon one, they immediately vanish. Ah, let's not worry about those harmless things for now. They seem to like the commandant only. It'd be pointless to capture them. Look at this. The Ascendant sure are getting more twisted by the minute. What's this anyway? From a safe distance, he fires a few shots at the woman, who's become one with the giant tree. Those created by shots only remain for a moment before automatically healing up. Just like what happened with the twins before. It heals way too fast. Could this be the Cadilla that Lithos mentioned? Most likely. We can't just leave this thing be. The situation outside, we absolutely won't be able to withstand a second disaster brought by the twins. I'd say we hit the jackpot. I agree. Do you still have those electromagnetic pulse bombs on you? Of course. Those are the most precious treasures I've got during my month of wandering here. I've blown up this place countless times in my dreams. But we still haven't found Lithos' mine backups.
Should be on those honeycomb cabinets around here.
This construct is nothing but a torso left. This should be it. Nothing but a torso, huh? Pause for a moment and suddenly barks out a dry laugh. What? Nothing. Just suddenly remembered that it was how I looked too when I first woke up.
Huh?
It's fine. I've already reassembled myself. Continue dealing with the following issues. Oh, you would thank you too, by the way. Not only did we find a main target, but we also discovered Cadilla. It's a huge win for us.
You really helped a lot. Really?
Of course.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the best thing we could have found all day. Like, if we can get rid of this thing, we can completely eradicate any chance of them recreating that disaster. Let me say we're a brief moment of joy, just like back when she was giving a coffee cup tour back in the day.
Now that we found the target, let's get started. First, we take out the stuff in the cabinets. Those little ones are limited power.
Shadow pries open several cabinets in a row to check their contents while the two behind him stand waiting.
Are you guys just standing there and reminiscing over your glory days or something? Come and lend a hand.
What? I wasn't... If you just begun to relax due to the praise she just received and the fact that she hasn't been busted yet, tenses up once more. Sorry, I'm going.
You've already helped a lot on the way here. You aren't fully recovered yet, so take it easy. Lillian, come help. I feel like a bodyguard and a nanny at the same time. Just like this when I was back in Scarab. Things haven't changed one bit.
I heard that in thriller movies, the most reliable characters are always the ones who die first.
You're cursing me now?
No.
Expect sure to laugh it off, yes, but positive working and heaves alongside. Who knows? Might be exactly what happens. For some reason, I've been feeling a strange sense of deja vu during this training with you two. As if this isn't the first time I've done these same things. This did mention reuniting again. Forget it. Just find the past here eerily familiar, and that's all.
Maybe it is, right? Because, again, it's like this whole area, even if you could say, like, it's like a virtual reality, they'd have to put us in some kind of simulation, right? And even if we did die in a simulation, that wouldn't change anything, right? Because we just go again, and that's not what their goal is, or at least not Lithos. Lithos is trying to find a complete way to make us an Ascendant. Killing us would only backfire on that plan. And maybe that thing with Lee and Lamia, maybe that was one of the simulations. Like she had failed at one point, or she at least succeeded in getting the key, but leaving me to die. Thus Lee killed her afterward. in response, like as a message from the Ascension Network, right?
But everything feels alien again now that we reached this point.
Or maybe it's just that or this is a different route that leads to a different ending.
I remember that Valeria gave me a whole pack, over 100 candies in there. I only recall eating 2 and giving you 1. It's like there's a piece of my memory that's missing.
Right. Memory manipulation. Wouldn't be the first time. Or maybe that's it, actually. Maybe it's like they've done it with clone versions of us, or simulated a AI that respond just like us, and we're receiving that information over and over again as the vessel. And maybe what all those were the other vessels of us that had died in other simulations.
I also don't understand why Lithos left me alive. Could have easily killed me here. After thinking about it, I decided there's only one possibility. I can still come in useful as part of his plan.
Useful? Huh?
We've come this far. He has gone far beyond Lithos' expectations. What happens next is anyone's guess. If I can't make it back, bring a message to Valeria for me. Tell her to delete all my embarrassing videos. No, actually, just say hello to her and watch you for me. I've had enough of you and your stupid faces. Don't rush to join me anytime soon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell him that. We're all gonna make it back safe and sound. I'd love to go back with you if I can, of course. It's just that, you see, don't you think this is the kind of situation that often appears in movies?
You're not wrong.
Soon we'll encounter an even greater crisis. Onto a soldier's sacrifice can the knight protect the princess and make their safe escape. People cheer for the victory, and the sacrifice ends up merely celebrated for a short while, or completely forgotten. Unless we have an insane scriptwriter here, it is the most likely outcome.
What happens then if the scriptwriter is indeed insane?
In that case, everyone besides the real villain meets a grisly end, or ends up living a life worse than death.
But who's the real villain here?
Lemia wonders, even though she can't voice a question. Ran into such an unexpected outcome, I'd much rather that the plot follows the usual cliches. At least you guys get to live. Shorthold. What? Given my corruption level and my wounds, you could play the role of the knight instead. Isn't this a time to say don't give up hope? There's always a way. Can't believe that you, the great hero and walking beacon of humanity, are saying such a thing.
Don't I have the right to be upset too?
True. The situation is completely different from what we've been through in the past. No allies, no way out, our body slowly decaying. Even a hero can feel lost if suddenly blinded.
Because that's the other thing too, because if we were just human, and we were going through this whole IV drip thing, surely it would be way worse of an impact on me than it is right now. So like, I literally should be dying, but I'm not. I mean, I'm still feeling the effects of what Lithos put in the IV drip, but I feel like it should definitely give me way worse sensations as a human. But if it's as a simulation and it's just reenacting what that pain would feel like, it would explain why I can actually still survive and go through this whole experience anyway. Because again, it's like, giving me something like that when it's like, it hasn't been completely tested yet, it feels like a simulation would actually make much more sense for that plan. Because again, it shows that my mind is strong enough, right? Like, my mind beacon is ready for ascension, and I can pull it off and actually become a construct for the ascension process, right? Because that's the whole point. It's like, they need to make sure the mind and body are both strong enough, so maybe that's what this actually is.
Even a hero can feel lost or suddenly blinded.
But then becomes the issue, I guess, of Lamia. Like, if they knew she was here, if they knew she was here for Luna's sake, why bring her here into the simulation? Like, I get Shorthold because it would give me that glimmer of hope to continue to try to survive till I meet my friends again, but what would it do to bring someone who's like a completely different third party involved?
just let me be. I'll fight to the very end. Preston Laffer was reaching out to slap his shoulder. Okay, I'll also fight next to you to the very end. Watch the two encourage each other. Lillian takes a step back. Lillian? Huh? Though I'm in no position to say this as an injured one. Such a perilous situation, the only way we can escape is by sticking together. Don't be afraid to rely on others. We're also relying on you. If anything happens, make sure to establish a mind connection with me. Lemmy would have been super touched and grateful if the human hadn't addressed her as Lillian in the beginning.
Yeah, I understand.
Even if we weren't here, the world outside is filled with the corrupted and hetero creatures. Sure is rare for someone as introverted as you to survive this long without seeking help or offering your own. I remember Dark Ares is done recuperating and will be proceeding to the clean zone for missions. Simon told me that everyone was getting along much better than when the squad was first formed. This is a topic Lemmy knows nothing about. Lily rarely shares any stories about Dark Ares and certainly doesn't seem close to anyone. Judging from her attitude toward the team, that is likely the truth. Able to find an explanation, she remains silent.
Or maybe that's it, because, again, maybe because Lithos is also hoping for me to connect with Lamia as an ascendant will, again, help increase my chances of succeeding in the ascension process, right? Because I've done it with Alpha, I've done it with Luna, but because they're related, maybe that's not a wide enough range to see, like, okay, this person can actually resist corruption to a certain degree. And maybe it's like they need to have more accurate data, hence why they're putting Lamia in this situation. To, like, crunch the numbers better, or more thoroughly. And the Yui gets a giant tree. The three spent half an hour there, just smashing the cabinets. After pulling out the jars, they finally noticed the bodies in the jars in the back. Some of them are significantly larger than the previous ones. Suddenly, a Dort's torso more than anything. Why are these torsos vary in size? Probably vessels for different body types. Jars holding the large torsos all have an N at the beginning of their serial numbers. Only a few of them in total, and they all boast more recent sealing dates. Might be replicas of someone's mind. Let's not worry about the specifics. Right now, we only have one task: destroy these things. These mind replicas, the bizarre tree, the woman inside it, all of it must be destroyed. Shuttle? From his gaze toward the last cabinet, you see a construct lying in a jar, so far outline obviously resembling. Is this you? Shit. I should have expected Lithos to do this to me. Shorto, which one of you is the real one? You? Or the one in the jar? Fuck. How would I know? Damn ascendants. Should we rescue you from the jar first? Rescue? The sound itself lying in the jar. The two people standing near him. One a wounded human, the other a petite girl with dodgy eyes. This isn't some an ally from one of those video games. Its creator must have protected with layers of encryption. We wouldn't be able to unlock that. And even if we can't awaken this thing, it will just end up an extra burden for all of us. They might figure something out. We take it back to Babylonia, but what good does having another me do anyway? Who can guarantee that the other me will walk the same path I do? Yeah. Again, it goes back to that whole question. Is cloning ethically correct or not? Because, like, there are some cases where it's like, it would be a good thing, but again, it's like, that's also a problem where it's like, people would just think that as being the answer instead of actually being worthy of having that one person's trust or something. It's also just by the fact that it means that person's worth will dwindle even more because they can just make copies of them. Just like you can't answer for a test or something. Even if I get lucky and I have another me to share the workload with, I'll have to share everything I like with him too. It's alright if it's just resources. But Valeria, what about her? She's a
A seasoned soldier who's been calm and reliable all this while kicks the jar once and punches it as well, before begins pacing around it anxiously. Self-inflicted struggle lasts for a full minute before he recovers with his cheerful tone and stops pacing. Alright, let's blow it up alongside everything else. But to hell with those philosophical questions. Who cares if it's the real me or not? I'm the one out of the two who's conscious now. The one who can make decisions. What does that tell you? It tells me that I'm the real one at this current moment, and nothing else matters. Let's go ahead and do it. Bonds I've been saving up for so long are finally gonna come in handy. Yeah, let's get to work.
But all that aside, can we really kill her this way? This place is filled with swarms of red tide. Ender creatures can regenerate easily if there's a red tide in the vicinity. Isn't destroying Lithos' mind replicas enough? Escaping as soon as we can is what matters the most now.
Escape? Escape where? Once this thing gets out, the whole world will be thrown into chaos.
Yeah, that is true, because it's like, we'll have won the battle, but we'll have lost the war. In a very bad way. Because again, it gives them more time to not only, like, enhance this thing, but they could even move it in the time that it's not taken care of.
He's right. Now that we discovered Cadilla, we can't let her leave. There's no turning back now. We can't just think of ourselves. We have to stop the disaster from happening here and now.
Okay.
Start assembling, quickly.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is like, Lamia may not have had to go or confront what happened with the twins directly, but it's like, everyone else here is like, they should know the kind of disaster and destruction that they brought along just by merely existing.
Unleash torrents.
About an hour and a half later, everything's in place.
She'll retreat to a safe zone and activate the detonator. With a loud bang, the great tree and all the replicated memories stored beside Cadilla turned to ashes in the blaze.
Plus, that's the thing too, was like, would Lithos really have given us that much time to destroy Cadilla if we were actually destroying the real one? It's like, I wouldn't buy that.
Entire space turns dark amidst the shaking, reminding Lamia of the darkness she saw when she fainted from severe pain. It was as if she touched that giant egg, she had a vague feeling. This entire space itself is alive. Did the power go out? Hard to believe there's even electricity in the forsaken place. He activates a portable line in his terminal, casting line to the dark tunnel where countless maws of fangs are glowing in a ghastly white. Shit! Hit the jackpot. Turn off the light. Stand back to back. Get ready for battle. Call comes too late and swarms of giant-toothed enemies. Charge directly at Lillian, following the light. Frantically pulls out two rusty daggers from behind, but before she can retaliate, another abyss angel descends from above. Tear pierced through the artificial skin, leaving a patch of crimson blood in her back. The bullet following the predicted trajectory hits the creature clinging to her, suddenly slides down to the ground. Fall back! Shadow pushes Lillian aside, sword slides through the gaping wall. This time. Shorthole, you still have a few grenades up with you, right? Just one left. Toss it and keep quiet. Grenade explodes in blinding light. Same back to back, the three of you pass eyes over your surroundings without turning on your flashlights. Chris' sound echoes down from the stairs. It sounds like someone's walking, in so abnormal fashion. Crimson particles that are punishing like a stream rushing amidst downpour start gushing down for the depths as the sound slowly moves this way. Oh boy, it's like a horror movie. Lights that have gone out start flickering in the comforting twinkle of the red light spots. The darkness swallowing the light, she walks over a carpet of shadows. Nudge gently at the trembling soles, allowing the light to outline her form, before darkness finds its way back to her body again.
Hurry up and run.
We're stuck. There's nothing but those monsters from earlier back there. Commander, we need to get rid of her here. She's going to join Lithos and have us cornered if we let her get away now. But we haven't figured out her attacks. The other creatures back there are going to start jumping on us if we wait any longer. We can't learn how she fights unless we fight her. I'll keep you covered. Just make sure these things don't get in my way, yeah? Lights out again. Peter raises his gun he's been holding and takes aim at the shadow looking into darkness. When she's come close enough, a bullet hits Cadilla squarely in her claw. Agonized scream, she takes a few steps back.
Watch out, they're gonna hear this missing.
Behind you! She crimson light bursts into your arm, shattering one of your ribs before you have a chance to dunk. The skin starts blistering right after coming in contact with the egg. The jacket becomes soaked with a liquid that's a mixture of your blood and the red fluid ahead of her creature. Showing fashionably laid, two daggers starts to deep into the most crimson part. Jumps up, flips over, and holds it in place for only weight to keep it away from you. Direct contact with a hetero creature? You both okay?
I'm fine.
For some reason, she sounds calm and firm. Commandant? Before you can say more, Cadilla lets out another scream that sounds like her.
My head hurts. My mind.
And let me start seeing her woken up memories of people who are long gone. This thing is plunged into deep sea of solitude. Connect with me, Lillian.
But I can't let them see me because no one's going to accept the wolf in sheepskin. Doesn't even matter that I never asked to be like this.
A chaotic memory strap around the spa deck breaks free of her dagger and returns to the embrace of its mother. Short halt! Panic, you try to let short halt to that which keeps itself hidden in the dark.
How can I possibly...
The source of intelligence, you'll find your worth in survival. Seeks answers for reason, but be a member of the chaotic world.
A source of intelligence. Wait, the egg! You have to be careful.
You've been paying extra attention to that thing for quite a while now.
Because my head still hurts so much.
The predator that has its eye on a target tried to destroy it to non-defenseless human. Charges at the human again, and 7 of his punishing stickers pierces the human's arm. He fires several shots at the twisted figure and successfully drives it away and screams at splatters of blood.
Run.
Can't do that. Can't just let her go like this. There's no going back now. We have to stop her here once and for all. Pain so excruciating that it all but knocks you out cold. It doesn't seem like the world wants to go any easier. Commander, get behind me!
Why would anyone know my name? You all gone crazy?
Oh my god. Light once again returns to the world around you. That's where we see Shorthold. What? For the two's very eyes, the sturdy figure shatters into countless pieces. Into the ground without even affording him the opportunity to shout or utter a final word. Shorter's vile fluid and mind splash into Cadilla. Takes us a second for the fluids to seep into her body.
How could this be?
Her wriggles and swallows the pieces that were once Shorthold. And it once fought for the past and future for Valeria. It's like that for the other you. Made its way back to the world of Mother. Earth in pieces. Without leaving so much as a trace.
Shit! Wait, up there!
What? They push you out of the way before there's even time for you to react. Do you tumble toward the corner in confusion. The egg is coming this way again.
It's flying. Super fast.
Her struggles to get back on her feet and falls to the ground. Showing fear, she has to lean against the wall behind her to keep herself from falling again.
Interference.
Things make it irresistible harm. Trying to warn you, so you want to embrace it. Lily, make a mind connection with me.
What?
Come on, we've got to do this! In its end, she grasps your scarred hands. Strange sensation coming through your mind begins to explain why the girls refuse to connect with you this time. Lillian? Giant egg, however, charges this way again, leaving you no time to ponder further.
This time comes here for Lily. Watch out! Though barely know her, she did play her part to help you all find Lithos' mind, not because Anne tried to find and protect you just now. This moment she remains frozen on the spot as she tries to fear. The gunshot bag turned around immediately, sending the last bullets flying straight into the empty tunnel. Also shaking violently, looks like it might collapse at any second. And her composed to the mind connection that may quietly count her blessing. Still hope as long as she can get out of this place. She can live on as Lily. But where to? Panic, she frantically tries to look for a way out. Lillian! Spectators in the arena, the monsters make no move whatsoever as they watch the two of you struggle to find a way out. Daylight, they're walking right in front of you towards out her path. She circles leisurely around her prey behind. I can still, wait. There's nothing we can do here. There's nothing here in our favor. There's no point in trying to run from this. People are gonna die if we let her out now. Snap out of it! Trembles as she watches you charge along the pitch black nightmare. Refuse to give up. With your wounds screaming in excruciating pain from festering. Splotchy blurring vision warning you your mind begins corruption. Arms no longer possess their usual power, so you decide to fling the sword and take advantage of the inertia that comes with it. Kamui taught me this much. Ready? Set. So it's swung on, sure it's vital fluid to land on the egg. At the same time, the egg takes a slash of its outer layer from the sword because of the sword's inertia. When the giant egg crashes into the ground and starts wiggling hideously. Shit. Cough out a spit of blood, feeling your head growing heavier by the second. The whole trickle of fluid flowing down from the corner of your eye. After touching blood, it's blood and then sweat. You know it has to be blood. There's no way you're gonna shed tears here. Not even when you might pass out cold the next second. Turns face around you, shakes again. Also apparently having sensed something coming its way, looks back warily, with the door pausing movements temporarily. It's now or never. As the sword again and we have the last ounce of your power, you deal another blow at the egg that still struggles. Hope stage a giant egg and nails it firmly to the ground. And for the egg, it's out a sharp cry. But it being ear splitting. Cry alerts its mother. Seeing no more, Killer looks over this way, ready to fix them. 3 bullets left. Use your hands. Not feeling as heavy as rocks, train your weapon squarely at the pillars, coming straight for the egg. At this point, you're so worn out that you lose balance and collapse against the wall behind you, defying the shot. Monsters run in every which direction as the roaring and shaking intensify. Sure that Lily will have no trouble making it out of here on her own. She takes advantage of this window. Did I ask her to run for it? Can I really tell her she's an ascendant to her mind connection? Head overflows with gazillion thoughts as your body cries in excruciating pain. On top of it, Cadilla's fast approaching, and leaving you no time to think. Lillian! Jimmy insists. Lily looks back and forth between you and Cadilla trying to save the egg. Still a chance for redemption. All she needs to do is increase both her and the human's chances of making it out of here alive. Use her disguise and find Cadilla as the ascendant she is. So she knows that she'd be putting her own life at risk if she loses her disguise now, only to find out that Cadilla's nothing just a man yet. She doesn't see what she stands to gain from it. Every second that passes by puts the command in, so it has trusted her that much closer to death. If she can win a relationship's as good as it's transient. That's right. So ascended and keep distance from the punishing. People are essentially coffee cups, network cables, or riding paths. Shorter substitutes for tools. I like this one. It's the only one I like. I hate myself for not being able to keep a coffee cup. She had to face Cadilla alone either way. She must have human die, won't it? Cadilla see it when she's here. But living in constant fear is truly torturous. Screams hysterically as she tries to hold that which she knows she has no chance against. Split second right. Her halberd blade caught you with Cadilla's long whip. The blinding sparks ensue, and the foremost shadows of body. I'm sick and tired of having to give up every time. I'm sick and tired of being scared. Running her high concentration and punishing towards the countless blades that shoot straight at Cadilla. Might as well take a step forward if I'm gonna end up regretting it anyway.
Trumpety Ascendant, the Pterodactyl sees it flowing. Dilla and her egg, too, is so down. Splitting headed kids, you to whirl around you seems to turn into a kaleidoscope of glass balls flying in every which direction. Flaming as a flame of determination, the corruption of your mind beaches quickly drag you all the way down to the darkest part and that's at the bottom of the flames. The more she uses their ability, the faster it's weighing you down. What happens when one connects themselves to an ascendant? They're a genius that only alleviates this as opposed to a certain degree. It doesn't help that there's only a thin layer of protection staying between you and the highly dense pollution that permeates the air around you. But the light there is, the light starts flowing toward the mermaid. Still breathing as your airway becomes clogged with blood. When you're able to keep yourself upright, you collapse against the wall. The world around you shakes more violently by the second. It won't be long before this place falls apart. See her? She's still finding a monster in the dark. Put your hand on her with the last bit of your being. Yeah. For your consciousness shatters into pieces. The world around you goes twisted, crumbles, and sinks. The last thing you'll see is the mermaid holding onto the egg that's nailed to the ground.
Damn, dude, what the fuck happened? That was such like a bad ending rap. No, that has to be it, right? We have to be in a simulation. There's no other way it can be explained. Avricadilla tends to slowly lose her mind as she loses the egg. Lamia tries with the egg. Collapsing straight into the pool at the bottom, tumbling to a deep well along with the current. Remember, the earthquake continues in the distance. Sounds like some gigantic monsters are fighting when you can't see them. Your eyes locked on the well's opening, you try to make your way up, only to slide back down completely exhausted. The fight just now was the last straw for you. Short halt. You've been relying on him since you came to. You find yourself not knowing what to do. I would have thought that you had to say goodbye this soon. Valeria. You don't know
much about Skaro, save for the few times you've seen Commander Valeria working alongside the rest of her squad. Death is commonplace on the battlefield, but they have still yet to grow used to it. Push the one in the pockets, you know, such a candy left behind. Cold pepper remove for a hint of alcohol, restore some of your coal. Clutch on the candy wrapper, put it back in your pocket. You've got to find your name tag at least. Body ever seems to be failing you, because if you're being skinned alive as your clothes rub against your wounds, cold and trembling slowly stop you from moving. You put your hand onto your forehead, however, you feel a slimy red lump of red. Let's hope that your mind peak hasn't gotten any better. Any negative and violent thoughts are adding to the chaos. Except Lillian doesn't seem to want to let the connection go. Never knew a sentence could do this. No. Can't give up. I can't give up just yet. Haven't even got my pension yet. There are people waiting for me. That's what you keep telling yourself, but try as you may, you keep falling back into the well. Trapped here, at your wit's end. You don't even know what you have to gain from the world out there either. At their account, there's hetero creatures, an invincible Godzilla, and Senu showing her true colors. Spare fills your heart, yet you're still looking for tools to use in your surroundings. Suddenly a smear flashes past. You seem to know what it's trying to do. The corner moves back and forth as they're trying to show you something. It's a dirty backpack. Size half a pack of compressed biscuits, a serum, dagger, a dozen of bullets, and 2 fever pills. This backpack looks like something that has scavengers left here for some time. Give it a time, and you can't help but wonder if this is a... No, trap. Be it as it may, you know that you don't have the luxury to just walk away from the backpack. God damn it! It tastes normal, like any compressed cookies you've had, so your throat is too much dry now for them to go down smoothly. Biscuits, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Biscuits, the pills begin to tear your throat. You can't waste these. Gotta swallow. Or to make it easier for the pills to go down your throat, you turn your eyes to the stream that's brought you down here in the first place. But then the swirl starts shaking more violently. The ground slips away with little water there was left. If you haven't suffered enough, the bear tasted the pills for you. It's a good 10 minutes to swallow both the biscuits and the pills. On the upper wall of the well starts shaking again. But the well itself sensed it right. Some seawater streams down this way through an opening on the well's wall. Bring with it a half-liter bottle of water and a pack of bandages. Okay, come on. The bottle's all crumpled. Pick it up, take a critical sniff, and take a gulp of it. Everything you found in the backpack just now, there's nothing out of the ordinary about this liquid. Strike you as weird as the well itself. God only knows what's coming down next. Gotta get out of here. Quickly bandage yourself with the bandage from the backpack. With the dagger you just found, to make your way up. The dagger proves itself very useful. Almost there. Halfway up, however, the shaking begins again. I have a bad feeling about it. What? Caused by the bars pierced through the wall, blocking the well's opening. Panic, your hand lets go, sending you falling straight back down to the bottom. Is that Lithos? Said there was one last injection to go. Why you need to stay alive? This place is the last place you want to be stuck in if this was Lithos. With the light coming down from the well's opening, you feel the ground. Just at the protruding parts seem to form a line of words. Please stay in. It's dangerous outside. No. Okay, yeah. This would be a bad ending, isn't it? I'm not gonna sit around and wait for you to come and give me that last shot, Lithos. So shaking grew more violent still, squirmy writings began to surface all around you. The walls were alive or upon a head of reach. Okay, come on. What the fuck? Won't last much longer. Cadillas. Of the walls closing in. Please stay here. It's too dangerous outside. words sound like the plea of a dying man. No, maybe it's like this space is alive. I don't know how that would work, but it's the only other thing that makes sense. The words of the uneven walls scream out, pleading for the humans to stay here to stay. Fine, do as you say. I'll stay. This painkiller's starting to take effect. You're awash with away fatigue. You would send you lean against the wall before sitting down, slowly closing your eyes. I wonder how they're all holding up. April 16. Grave commences a blanket search in the designated area, locking out to a long abandoned hospital as their target. To get down to the ground morgue, Liv discovers a hidden door behind the freezer at the 13th body. It lies before the three of them as never seen out of despair. Ah, great, it's a clone of me, isn't it? Unbearable stench assaults the senses. By the hidden door is a room with 6 bodies, all bearing the same face. Wait, what? Some of them are stiff, while some have started to decompose. They were still bleeding from their wounds. Regardless of their stage, these bodies all bear tragic expressions, trying to show what they've been through before meeting their fates. Find the bullying pain in her mind, as you grasp Liv's trembling hand. Liv, Lee, the blood. Some of these bodies are still fresh. There might still be hope. Let's check on them first. These might just be clones, or it might be the descendants trying to fool us, but whatever. Whatever it might be. I know. Seeing Lucy struggle to find her words, Liv gently shakes her head. Gaining composure, she quickly walks up to the blood-stained bodies to check out any signs of life. Lee, however, remains in place looking somewhat adamant. Lee? He says nothing as though he hasn't heard a thing. Lee! Let's check the other rooms. We're not giving up any hope. He didn't give up, nor was he crushed by what he'd seen. Just feeling overwhelmed by familiar heartache. What he doesn't understand, though, is why he's finding it familiar. Oh, right. The other endings that he had been through. Right, because he doesn't remember those anymore. Peek through the partition wall covered in dust, the trio finds a clean space beyond the stench and bloodstains. Space for rows of empty cryogenic chambers, falling to one at the far end containing a person who looks exactly like their commandant. This commandant is still alive. I called them the moment we entered. They're on their way now. Is this really okay? Do you look at the body before them, so for heartbeat and exchange silent glances? Can they really turn a blind eye to that certain question they haven't been able to answer if their commandant never turns up again? Just exactly what would they have to do with this lookalike on the off chance that they found their commandant soon? After a long silence, the three decide to leave the questions unanswered. Commandant has only been missing for 16 days. Is this really enough time for someone? You weren't growth drugs to go from birth to save these clones, and now? These clones were here before Commandant went missing. That much I can say for sure. But when exactly did... Wait, we can hack into the terminal here. The footage shows Lithos overseeing a couple of constructs as they move a large machine in here. What's this? I know what that is. It's a memory synchronizer. Professor Hippocrates has data on it. A memory synchronizer? Yes, it synchronizes memories between 2 brains. It was used during the Golden Age to treat amnesia and some illegal research. It damaged the brain easily though, so they stopped using it. Forge let us gently caress the machine. Now, I'll have to bring you all here from Fort Winter. And this will be giving your memories back to you. So hope this machine still works. I'm sorry. It took me that long to finally notice who you are. Fort Winter. What he said is true. That means these people were created before Commandant went missing. Wait. A human skeleton. They lost all patience. I saw a human skeleton near the access device when Alpha and I were at Fort Winter. Is that when? A human skeleton? Is it all bones and no flesh? No. I couldn't date it because it didn't seem like it had decayed naturally. But here's my guess. If there was a window of opportunity for anyone to do anything before Commandant went missing, it would have been after the mission with Wanshi to set up the domain nodes and logging this arsenal vaporized the red tide. Oh. Remember how we were told to stand by in the prep room when they clearly could have used help? I do. Commander was trying to find out what was happening. Was immediately taken away. They said they need to monitor memory replays caused by the corrupted mind peak. Oh, that's right. So that's when they had got this data. Nobody knew what those medical checks were for or what they took. Lucia held her knife in her hand on the verge of being crushed by her grip. Is this all for Project Winter? Fort Winter's been turned upside down. Why can't they just let it go already? They must have run out of choice. People probably shunned them at all costs, even if they managed to survive the punishment for the Purifying Force. Yeah, they were getting desperate, so this was their last-ditch effort in getting something successful to use against Babylonia. Which is why they've chosen the thorny path. Let those needed memories sink, because mind and self-conscious go hand in hand, and they couldn't have happened without memory. Right. So now this seals it. This gives them not only the fact that it's like they've been doing the illegal experiments. This is the final nail that it's like they were doing stuff with Ascendants, because there's no way Lithos would have had this data without getting it from the inside. There's literally no way. And that's why they took Commandant, so they could memory sync Commandant. I'm sorry, mister. I lost track of Xanthos. Catilla's gone berserk from being awakened prematurely. Wait, Lithos isn't even keeping track of me? What the hell? I thought this was all part of the plan. Then who's telling me that stuff anyway? Well, you severely injured or fast asleep at the bottom of the well. Lithos was reporting the situation here to his agent. He knows well that Lithos wouldn't have come to bother him if there were workaround. The three of them orchestrated an explosion, storing all the mind backups stored nearby Cadilla. I can't keep her stabilized anymore with my replicated mind. Your replicated mind was never stable to begin with. It was only meant to serve as a sedative while Cadilla was asleep. It's supposed to crash and burn as soon as she awakes. Which is why I told you to seek reliable backup plans, even if it means taking more time. I'm just hoping to speed things up with your plan. It's my fault. I left Loki in my room. She broke through the partition, and that's how they found out about that room. Shrek's replicated mind has been destroyed too. If we don't do something about Cadilla, the consciousness he's implanted into the cradle will be contaminated and collapse too. Oh? I will lose control of this place, and of her cradle too if that happens. That's exactly why you failed to notice it when they approached your room. I told you to exercise your caution if you want to control the cradle with him. I've also advised against keeping Loki around. Your experiment is finished. What you need to do now is to free her from her suffering. So it is. Because even they were asking the question, what good does it do to keep Loki around, considering Loki's literally a rabid dog at this point. Like, honestly, there's nothing good that would have come of it. Even if you could throw it to the battlefield, it doesn't really help their agenda as a whole. Even if you were to say, like, use it as a distraction, well, just going blindly, just try to kill someone wouldn't be as good of a strategy, even if she had good battle instincts. She's one of us. She deserves to live. And if she dies, you allow those humans to seek death, yet you deny Loki the same. Is it Loki who needs to live? Or is it you who needs her to live? I'm sorry. What do you make of this commandant? I don't know. We had no idea who the connector was behind the wall. We were running mind connection experiments back in Fort Winter. I'm not who I was then, and Xanthos is no longer the same Xanthos I connected with. Wait, connected with? When did that happen? Oh, was that, when she was with me, where we were with no one at the time? When I was passed out? So what do you think now? Mister, I promise you that no matter what happens, I will see this plan through. And I ask that you believe me. Your mission isn't finished. So don't dissolve yourself into Cadilla just yet.
I know.
It's because Litos can only die after this that he has this agent for help. It still pays Litos to know that his death is being treated as an insignificant matter.
Lamia infiltrated this place and took Cinderelic.
Oh, wait, she took Cinderelic? Damn. I didn't know she could pull that off. Luna's pawn didn't get you too late at all. I needn't bother then, since it is an alpha. As long as Cadilla lives on, the cradle can be rebuilt. This commander is just one injection, a little time away from the full effect of medication. We need to find them at once.
Wait, seriously? Wait, then where the fuck am I? How do they not found me? This place should be under their control, right?
Oh, and I see. It's like,
yeah, because Alpha would have the capabilities to potentially destroy Cadilla.
The egg has accumulated quite a few stable shards, so they step away from hatching. I just need to see it hatch and make sure Cadilla survives now.
That's all you need? What are we going to do with Cinderelic if she doesn't hatch?
She's well prepared for that. She went back to Cadilla knowing this might happen. I'm not going to stop you if you can salvage her too.
He just knows that isn't something he's capable of. Not to mention that Vonnegut starts entertained with the thought of forsaking the cradle the second he learns of Lemmy's invasion. I see. So that's also why Lemmy could see the thing about Cinderelic, because that's connected to Mermaid at this point. Because Lamia would maximize what he can get out of Cadilla and the commander, because he needs the cradle and the egg to connect with each other to bewitch the holder. Now with the joystick gone, he's lost control of both Cadilla and the cradle.
Use the key I left to unlock the device in the control room. You'll find your last mind token there.
You mean?
Right. That's the replicated frame you left behind before becoming an Ascendant. Stabilize Cadilla with it.
Both Cadilla and the cradle are out of control. The frame alone won't last long.
That's why you need to inject the commander with the final dose as soon as possible. Lead the retrieval of the egg into Cadilla to Lilith.
Damn, he's gonna have Lilith take... Well, I mean, to be fair, Lilith was pretty strong, and she did hold her own against Alpha. So I guess it is possible she could stop Cadilla. But says no more, and I realize its own mistakes don't give him the right to object. He once hoped to use his past self to escape back to a time when things were untarnished. Right now, however, he knows he can't be further from achieving it. Thinking that he had this coming to him, that just almost wants to laugh at himself.
And while we're still at this Lithos,
this person, now a completely different man from when they first met, Grundy stops him. It's the very same words he did the day they first met.
Don't rely too much on pain.
Damn, so many moving parts this chapter. I didn't even realize it would. Touching the spikes on his chest that won't spare him the pain, Lithos passes through the corridor filled with the header creatures to retrieve the key Vonnegut mentioned. Heads toward the control room. As he walks, he removes the hair accessory from his head. She had the long hair and the dress that belonged to Rose. And, with a sigh, she's seen into the clothes he used to wear at the orphanage. I'm sorry, Rose. I might look like you. I still have a hard time bringing myself to like myself. And pain is still the only way I know to seek forgiveness. I didn't be the person I was. If he's the person I was then. So now Lithos has been relying on pain and self-punishment to stay lucid. It's the mind beacon Lithos had always been attentive to. He has come thus far walking down this path. Lithos has been replicated more times than he can ever recount. This individual known as Lithos will always remember. That very moment when Paper Crane, a medical chair of a kind-hearted donor had given him, has turned to a punishment chair. Oh! All those painful times he's had to live through after becoming Ascendant. One of which is that time he fell for Ravage's trick and accepted his help. All the flowers in the orphanage, everything Ravage had done. How all the unbloomed flowers were nailed to Paper Crane, for they had their buds forced open and pistols plucked again and again until they became specimens or toys. And they said they were doing it for his good, claiming that these loved little buds too much, to ever want to hurt them. Now grown up himself, Lithos equates intense, painful tug and hard with love. Having never truly experienced love in a distorted, sequestered paradise.
The more does the paying card to do so, the more genuine is towards the confession. All of these in turn led us into the person he is today. One who would feed a rabbit a piece of flesh he cut off for himself.
I did it for the rabbit. I can't just sit around and watch it starve, can I?
What becomes of the rabbit that's tasted flesh and blood? But does his love has led him nowhere. Much like this path is taking him this far as an ascendant. Since I'm hoping to see a brand new future, only to find himself wandering further into the thorns that fog. Knows only too well that a villain won't stop being a villain simply because he's been victimized. He tears his soul in half. It's only Lithos, he's also Fathers. He's become an offender since he was made a victim. Wish that they could all live peacefully, looking forward to tomorrow, instead of having to trek the long, twisted river that's the Ascension Network. There so many people along the way. Having been raised by his fathers, just doesn't know how to go about life in ways his father has never shown him. That's why he sees what he's doing now as the best way out. If the disaster leaves no time for anyone, he needs to act now. To that end, he doesn't care how many people he's gonna hurt. So as long as he can keep a handful of them safe, it's the kind of filtering that Little stands by. He's been tormented by what he's done, so it's a lie to help himself feel better. He's been telling people that he's doing these things for their good. They have to do as he says to survive, but he falls prey to his own lies. Dying on a periodic basis helps get these heavy emotions off Litto's chest, as much as he knows that this is but a temporary getaway. His idea of an ideal death would be to get torn and crushed completely alongside Paper Crane, all the while consciously enduring torment 1,000-fold worse than what he had to do in the past. It's only through pain so excruciating that he thinks he can find temporary forgiveness in himself for himself. It's only then that he can bid a graceful farewell.
Then this is nuts.
The torrents of fate drag into the deep sea, all those who have drowned. Suffocated, they're all on the verge of death. In endless despair, only one feels reborn.
I can do all these things now.
It's hit her. She's in control of everything, as long as she holds on to the strange-looking red giant egg in her arms. Even the entangled sea anemones, nor the arrogant seafarers can hope to stop the weapon in her hands.
This egg, what exactly is it? Till it can make it attack out of its own accord. It can make me as an ascendant more powerful with it. Strange how those header creatures can't use it though.
Holds up the giant oddity for a good look. She finds herself drawn to it the longer she keeps her eyes on it. I'd seemingly swaying with a flickering flame in the wind. Had not been for the mind connection that commanded, let me assure she would have been swallowed by the same illusions that had engulfed her before. This time, however, she's able to see past those illusions to a lucid mind.
This reminds me of the little March girl. In the story, the warmth and light coming from the match gives the girl the power to fight back. Never reaches out despite herself, fingertip gliding over his translucent surface. In that moment, the egg, like a struck match, draws her into a dazzling shopping street.
She's tempted to reach for the goods. Some chill makes her shiver. Guided by the mind beacon of a certain human whose whereabouts have become a mystery, Amy makes her way into the street into the illusion. Looks at the phantoms on either side. Feels like a kaleidoscope, reflecting a colorful world where limited doctors, endless dry food, bright classrooms, and intimate friends. They almost seem like they came straight out of a child's imagination. Amy looks seriously at these things she once longed for as she lingers by a few phantoms. She wants these wishes that these phantoms are displaying to come to her side.
If only all of this were real.
Amy once again raises the egg. When her fingertips skim over its surface, a faint glow comes to life that shows the phantoms. Instantly, the illusion becomes real and tangible. The personal shopping guide, the egg, starts showing Amy the life she yearns for. 11:30 a.m., prepares a hearty breakfast and with a gentle call, the forever 16-year-old Lamia wakes up from a bed filled with toys, books, and stuffed animals. At noon after breakfast, she was determined to find 99 messages from friends, which were kind and eager. 1:30, when she's finished replying to all her friends' messages, Lamia takes her father's spaceship to school in Babylonia. 1:30, when she's finished replying to all her friends' messages, Lamia takes her father's spaceship to school in Babylonia. 2, she works her classes surrounded by her classmates and teachers. 4:30, when school ends, she hangs out with friends. 7, her father picks her up. Rose mother's already prepared dinner. Anyone who's experienced a truly ordinary daily life can tell that these scenes are anything but ordinary. Faithfully, these seem more like scenes coming straight out of the life of a princess in a fairy tale. What price does one need to pay for these wishes to come true? What are the potential risks? Lamia has no time to think about these. Despite herself, she's drawn toward that figure. Following her choice, the egg locks onto the future where Olivia survives. Oh, I had to move it up here. Lamia sits the corridor and watches the egg shows a peaceful golden age. She finds herself back in a familiar home, a familiar living room, seeing her mother. She knows well yet barely recognizes, busy working at the workbench on something that little Lamia can't understand. A piece of gold seems to diminish slightly with her presence.
Mother, is there anything to eat for dinner? There's plenty in the fridge. Help yourself. Still got work to do.
Mother is expressionless. It's nothing like the dream life Lamia had envisioned. This future is based on reality. Well, in the minimal note, it's changed.
Where is the fridge? Mother?
Upon looking up this way from work, Mother looks indifferent, makes no effort to cover her noise.
I gave up my entire future because of you. How much longer are you going to keep me stalled with all these trivialities of life?
His words shatter deep into his heart, sending ripples across Lamia's mind. Turn suddenly grows pointing, catching Lamia by surprise. Now speaks in the same cold tone. Selected from wishes, the simulation of Lamia's future collapses completely, into her past. It's on that fateful day that Lamia asked the question, one had been weighing on her heart for far too long. You finished the problems I gave you last time?
Sorry, but they're too difficult for me.
And the textbook? She despised her own ignorance whenever she was given problems like these.
If only I could get out of here earlier. The world out there had the insight to answer all these questions. Change a few more notes.
The egg burns up once again, illuminating the world behind Lamia, revealing countless flickering figures before her. long as she had luck on her side, nothing bad's gonna happen to her after she gets out of this place. She'll finally be able to go to school, which she's read about in books, where she can enjoy bathing in the sunlight and listening to the calls of cicadas and the laughter of people. Teachers will start with the basics and guide them with patience.
It's okay if Mother isn't perfect. As long as I get to live a happy life with a normal person going to school.
The egg grows red in her arms. As the development closes her eyes. All of a sudden, through the afternoon sunlight, causes cicadas a piece of chalk comes flying at Lamia. As the second last round was currently on.
My bad. It was just a bunch of regular jargon. I just didn't feel like reading it necessarily. You're lending me this egg that can fulfill any wish. It doesn't exactly fulfill any wish though, so I want to see what you do. Well, use the egg and without moment's hesitation, just to fulfill a childish wish. Just as Roland's hoped, said Progressor without any hiccups. And devoid of lies, falsehoods, and drama, they ordinary to the core. These wise mother and brother repeatedly daily chores, schoolwork, and childish games. Their life with an invisible and at a glance. Don't you find it boring? To be gross, Roland says nothing. But what would you do when the punishing hits? She was hoping Roland would show her what to do. Dainty along as I go through the square, Roland simply makes the same decision she does, more candidly than ever. Bids farewell to his loved ones and waits for death to come knocking on his door. I think that's pretty much it. They abandoned me in the real world. We might be looking at a different script here, but lies are lies all the same. It was a great dream, and I really enjoyed it. Can I lend you the egg and ask you to give it another try? You want me to relive the lies? Bursting laughter immediately sets up an accident. A few simple moves, Roland has turned his half-year-old self over into cradle, so faces down. All ends before it even starts. It's over. Empty corridor, let me find itself all alone once again. I guess I could kind of see why, because again, we have to remember, even though they are ascendants, they were humans. They just weren't given the opportunity of a regular life, so it's like, that's probably the best thing they could hope for, without all the drama, all the chaos, all the violence. That'd be the closest to a safe haven they'd want. Because they know what it means to be significant, whether in a good or bad way. Plato's allegory of the cave compares the uneducated to a group of prisoners chained in a cave from birth. In the allegory, the prisoners face the lightless wall in the cave, chained so that they can't turn their heads. People outside the cave pass these prisoners by carrying torches whose light shines upon the weapons, passers-by, and mannequins. The prisoners, on the other hand, see nothing but the shadows that the things project onto the wall because they've always been facing the wall. Seeing no real objects, they naturally come to believe that the shadows are the only reality. They were suddenly freed from their shackles, stepped out of the cave, forced to look directly at the fire, except that all they used to see were mere illusions. They would surely feel pain in the process, and confusion too. Just like a mermaid princess venturing above the sea surface for the first time, gazing at a kingdom she's never seen from behind the reefs. Just like a little girl lighting a match for the first time, catching glimpses of all her desires in its light. Just like Cinderella asking her fairy godmother for the first time to let her go to the ball. Lamia too finds herself questioning herself between opportunity and reality. What do I want exactly? To this day, if someone asked her what she desired, she would have answered without hesitation. Wishes hold no value if they all come true like a breeze. She finds herself feeling lost to all these vibrant futures laid out before her. Then take another step forward. Be a bit more greedy. Make all your wishes. The egg lies quietly in Lamia's arms, softly tempting her. Knows Lamia would be dominated by her desires and insatiable with the status quo. Then he wants her to want the omnipotent egg so badly that she refuses to help the commandant and wants the egg dead. So the commandant can slowly weaken with the injection returned above his lovely arms. Light another match. The woman girl too whispers softly in the midst of the bizarre illusions. Can this make you happy? I love her. I want to fulfill all her wishes and be happy. I want to ask her if it was all really because of me. No, please don't blame it all on me.
floating image flashes past her sight. Is that a crack of some sort? Mermaid decides to ignore it.
Knowledge.
I want to answer all questions as my true self. The 72 time nodes need to be changed. The crack seems to have grown a bit.
Friends.
Want to be like everyone else and not turn 92. But these are still ordinary lives that people in peaceful times have had. They're not grand enough to be wished.
I want to be a pop star.
I mean, Superstar's latest single, Abyssal Melody. Cover, breathtaking. The observer in the corridor sees the danger seated by these wishes.
I want to be a knowledgeable teacher so that the best of students will humbly seek my advice.
Zervid knows that there are consequences of tampering with time. She'll tear the world apart if she doesn't stop.
I want to be an almighty philanthropist. I want to be more powerful than Alpha. This is the power bestowed upon me by the Monastery of Purity, Gabriel.
The decayed skull reflects the mermaid's blue figure. Big by the red, the punishing pervades the land faster than ever. No, there's more to it than that. Barely tolerating Cadilla and her cradle slaughterhouse to appear in this world with Drana and the Crimson Flood. The tragedy of Pulling Forest Park is about to be a repeated manifold. Is this the future she hopes for? Or is it destruction led by ignorance? The mermaid lost in wishes remains oblivious to the danger.
I will rise above the Ascension Network and make all the ancients bow before me.
Splendid too, 3.5. Wishes are innocent and her danger is commonplace. Observer knows the world couldn't bear the consequences of having those nodes altered. The mermaid who makes these wishes is walking down a safe corridor with the fourth dimension as she admires the countless features illuminated by the egg. These future simulations, Lamia's lived through countless lifetimes. We all wish it fulfilled to the point of desirelessness.
What wishes do I have left?
Keeps her eyes on the dimming light of the egg. In the fading mind beacon, she ponders how to make her remaining chances count. Right at the end of the corridor, she saw a shadow of Atlantis. This brings Lamia back to those times where she sat on the other side of the screen looking at the dead, seeing an ideal world from reality. She wants to reach out to those who are no longer there, like fishing for a reflection in starved oceans. The daughter of the sea looks at the reflection of stars, makes her final wish.
I wish to venture into the starry sea, to see the starscape you longed for. I want to understand why it is that you chose to move forward, even at the cost of your lives.
Right, because in the end, that's what it was. It all started with space travel. Lamia stared at the starry sky. There's the solar system behind the breeze. Raised her head, looking puzzled. Through the light, she realized she has no trouble traversing black holes yet to be explored by mankind. Skims distant stars, feeling for the full outline of the universe beyond human cognition. She's become nothingness and an eternal cosmic voyager. She sought all philosophical answers, yet she doesn't know what significance these questions hold, nor what the answers mean. Jumping at her, these words are no different from a foreign language she's never studied. She's seen the answers to science and everything unknown, yet seeing them all, seeing them as all she's able to do with the answers, existing beyond the darkness that shrouds the cave perennially. These unknowns remain to puzzle her, so much so that she isn't even aware of them. She embarks on an endless journey, through which she imbibes the stars and seas. The long period of bewilderment, she finally comes to grips with the meaning of all that could be seen and their significance. Upon touching the edge of the universe, the darkness that has clouded her mind begins to fade. Mermaid dancing among the stars looks back and laughs at the wishes she's just made, singing, people's respect? Vast universe, these desires seem so petty to the point of laughable. She sways her tail and swims back to Earth, plucks the moon in the breeze and toys her fan in her hands. Earth is hit with tides that swallow the land, seeking Atlantis, the place she once held dear to the bottom of the sea. The few remaining souls vanish beneath the sun tide, suffocating cries failing to reach her ears before Mother devours them all. She gazes at the truth. Different than the destruction, she lets herself drift around in the starry sea. The rise and fall of 1,570,000 cosmic civilizations cycle like sunrise and sunset under her watch, flowing incessantly.
Well, yo, what's up, Season Life? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Time, flowing ever faster, races the countless years and ages, their Lemmy as silent as the stars themselves. The starry sky before our eyes collapses to zero. The light of mind become reality will too extinguish. Time's up. She gazes leveling at the universe as it reboots into simulation. Refused to return from this immensity to a reality she knows to be dull and draining. Reality. Lammy in the real world is still the same villain who needs to fight with all her might just to survive. Making most of her wishes nothing but a far-fetched fantasy. By now, Lammy is very clear about the egg's intended purpose. State your goal and it'll fill the path to your goal with the actions it thinks you need to take. After which you'll be shown what it's like if everything goes as you wish. But all these actions are in the past. Could it be that Vonnegut has figured out a way to travel back in time? Lammy suddenly recalls that Luna's mentioned in passing that Vonnegut was looking for a key. A key? The egg is the key. What door can it open? Sammy murmurs to herself. The phantoms around her immediately show her the answer with the light that remains from the mind beak. Ah, it is. He wants to go in the end for Henry Tower. When that weird tower turns red again? But how is she supposed to go to the tower in the clean zone? How is she supposed to make the tower red again? But it could be a second tower, right? How is she supposed to travel back in time using the tower? How is she supposed to change the time nodes you see in her simulations one by one? Where exactly is Vonnegut trying to go by doing this? Lammy still doesn't know the answers to these questions. She now sees how important the egg is. This is what Luna and Vonnegut want. I'm sure this is the solution to all the issues that came with refiltering. Refiltering. Finally hits Lamia. Just like the corrupted, the minds of agents have been corrupted long ago. Their minds are stable enough for their self to persist. Perhaps the humans, agents and ascendants, are already as dead as the corrupted. Losing connection with the Ascension Network means losing oneself, which is why it's so hard to break free. Transcendents, though slightly different, are still subject to the control of agents and ascendants. The punishing inherently stores a vast amount of ownerlessness, mind data. Data congregates, which in turn allows the Ascension Network to upgrade. I guess I can see the resemblance. On one hand, she has the consciousness and information of ascendants left in the Ascension Network, their original selves. On the other hand, they're cobbled selves, forming from all the ownerless consciousness and information. The essence of refiltering is the evolved weight of these cobbled selves, that overrides the age's authority. This is the parade of the punishing virus. The messages contained proclaim their autonomy. They aim to break free from the control of agents, to coalesce into independent entities. If left unchecked, one day it will become a vast army, which is an unbeatable, incomprehensible, and indescribable monster. One to helping destruction to both humans and ascendants. agents must undergo refiltering to reclaim their authority.
It's not just about survival, but also for the sake of a more distant future.
So that's why Vonica created the egg.
Ah, I see. To no longer be controlled by that and create a new possibility.
Because true, even though they technically are free in terms of like society's problems and restrictions, it's not like they're free from like everything, that they can just literally do whatever they want. Because again, in the end, agents are people who are meant by the Ascension Network to do what it wants. The Ascendants are those who are deemed useful for the Ascension Network. The egg, being highly concentrated punishing heteromer, likely stores a consciousness that absolutely obeys the Ascendants. Not only can it help Ascendants pass refiltering, we can also come up with simulations using the messages stored in the punishing. Messages. The messages in the punishing have a fourth dimension to it to begin with.
Ms. Gage traveled to the starry sea into the past.
The giant head creature from back then was meant for creating a big enough signal tower too. They did get their messages from the future, but humans beat them to it.
Oh, that's what it was.
Right, because it couldn't have just been so simple as like trying to create an ascendant, because it didn't seem like that was the main thing anyway, because they were still drawing people in. They probably wouldn't even have brought up Project Attila had Vonnegut gotten what he wanted then.
Oh, so that was an attempt to do so, but they failed.
I get it now.
Messages are not unlike the fire on a torch that shines through the dark. This time he figures is exactly what Vonnegut is after. At the same time, it also hits her. Cadilla, who's laid the egg, is connected to doors of all sizes to begin with. Just as the heterohive mother connects heterosapiens into red tide, she's become the central processor, like a queen bee.
I can use that to control the hetero creature she gives birth to, if I can get my hands on her. The egg, the key to the tower, and Cadilla, the queen bee controlling all the hetero creatures. This is what Vonnegut wants out of Project Cadilla. And this is pretty useful to me too.
Lamia has come to grips with how to use the egg. She still hasn't quite wrapped her head around what's made Cadilla the queen bee that she is.
I want to know about Cadilla.
Contrary to her swelling ambition, the mind beacon is growing weaker still. Is the human severing connection? Are they about to lose consciousness?
Now of all times.
She signs the resignation having realized that her mind connection is about to end.
I just need to get out of here with the egg and head for the tower. It's where my wishes have a chance to come true.
Where she is, how does she get out of here? Lamia knows that her mind will go berserk, which in turn would lead her to destruction. If she can't establish another mind connection that allows her to use the egg. Does that mean she has to beg the human? She's supposed to deceive and use the person? Like what all villains do?
The Grey Raven Commandant.
He's reluctant, but why? Lamia withdraws her thoughts from wandering it in the cosmos and starts sketching the contours of humanity anew. That particular human once mistook Lamia for Lillian, but overlooked Lillian's suspected desertion and instead showed her trust. Did the Commandant do that because there was no other choice? Were they actually people willing to be kind to her?
I can't believe this still bothers me so much.
Just the people of Atlantis pursue the distant cosmos and stars, Lamia too chases after them. After all, those who step into the light out of the cave see the real world. She longs to be as formidable as they are, to stand where they do, see the landscapes they see, and to step into the very starry sky that they would sacrifice their very own lives to touch.
I am done staying in the ignorant cave.
As all her daydreams come true in the shadows, Lamia finally understands her true desire. Carefully holding up the egg in her hands, she asks a question of her heart's desire. One rooted in reality, yet she's been too afraid to face directly, to all the silent stars.
Please tell me, the one who just discovered who I really am, will they forgive me?
Wow.
Damn, it's actually crazy, like, Lamia was the one that actually figured out Vonnegut's intentions with this, with their own weapon. That is wild. So that's what he's been trying to do. That also explains why it's like we've also been seeing like him watching the actions of hetero creatures trying to get to the Infrahetero Tower, even though they keep failing. Again, more like a test about that, like kind of like the hive mind kind of thing. But I see, that's what he wants. But again, it's like, what would it have to do with the manipulation of time? But then again, I guess it's like to distort the order and the system that the Punisher virus has displayed. Don't worry, I'm still gonna do a bit more. I'm only at 48%? Bitch! I've almost been at this for 2 hours. How have I only been at like 25%? Well, actually, no, that does make sense, because I was literally like almost 25% last time. Ah, great, okay. How much more do I have left? I'm so confused. Bond up well, the commander is a dream related to mother. Her parents is that of a young girl, make her anything but a mother. It's therefore logical to conclude that she was merely assigned to the title mother. That's that. It's gotta be that. Oh, I see. This must be happening not only because of the thing for the IV drip, but also happening because of what's it called? Because Lamia's interacting with the egg so much, it's probably also creating a stronger connection between me and so-called mother. There's a delicate string of flowers tied to her hand as she sits in the room imprisoned by the shadows of the window bars. And the gentle afternoon sun streaming through the window carries with it peace and serenity. Wow. Of course. Why am I not surprised? I only get one option. Or, I get 3 options, but they're all just the same thing. Fuck me.
The collapse from the distance finally wakes you from the slumber. Looking at the tower's walls, man, you find the upper layers no longer obstructed. However, sufficiently for you physically replenished. Alright, let's leave this fucking place. Come on.
Oh, right, because they're not in control anymore. Right. Because the egg's now in Lamia's hands, it won't try to force me to stop.
Cool. As the sun reclaims the sky, this absurd paradise becomes shrouded in a new layer of chaos. Distance is a building that's collapsed into a gaping maw with countless floating debris, bringing to mind the scab that's formed over a giant's wound. Where to go next?
Around, you see the jellyfish-like phantoms once again.
Show no response. The school started to fish, the phantoms swim away.
Is this how they're supposed to be?
Ah, great.
He shakes.
But nothing like what I experienced in the well. The fire coupled with the vibration out of which the formed hetero creatures emerged.
Ah, god damn it!
You nearly run for in the opposite direction, but the creatures show no intention of attacking you. Survey surroundings. As you die, you see them everywhere as you run. These twisted beings lack the intelligence for a full-fledged plan. Must be monsters or ascendants lurking around that are far more dangerous than these creatures. Let those. The word a shadow on the ceiling sheds is disguising lightning behind you.
Shit! The bullet hits it squarely in the head.
Passes right through as though it were a puddle of water, causing it no harm at all. Alas, a second later, hetero creatures like in the ruins all swarm up this way. Hold you by the arm that previously pierced, where your skin festers the moment it comes into contact with them. Come on, off! Already beyond exhaustion, you're unable to fight back, barely feeling anything but pain coming from your limbs as you quickly dissolve. Alright. So the little brings you tearing pain. It's impossible to see what's happening in the dark. My hand been torn off. I can tell for sure you hear the sound of something landing on the ground instead of creatures let go of you. Now!
And with your legs all but completely numb.
And step a few steps with your knees, stand up against the wall. And now you see what's been discarded right from you.
A syringe? After the final shot, you will have 48 hours left. Even if you make it back to Babylonia, they might not have the tech to save you.
Is this the last injection?
His neck rotates stiffly,
like a robot observing his surroundings, then turns its face toward you, battered and bloody beyond recognition.
Stay calm.
Not gonna kill me right away as long as you still obey Lithos. Something I can do about that last injection. We get some information at least.
Who exactly are you? Sea fairy, child, loved by lover.
So the creature calling itself the Sea Fairy as it points a small can around itself. So these little hetero creatures are all Lithos?
Yes, to humans, hetero creatures, hetero sapiens, are all the dead, merged with the punishing. They, too, are the replicated consciousness of Lithos after he died.
And so are you.
No, our consciousness can fully merge. We don't become fragmented like the host.
Extends its hand at you. So I'm quite happy with the way I am now. I mean, you have to tell some people, but that doesn't mean you aren't going to fight back. Ah, great. What am I doing? Oh, back to great. Back to the FPS shooting. Fan-fucking-tastic.
I'm not good at these things, but I'll have to give it a shot. Okay. Nothing here. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. Yeah, I figured. Get back, bitch. I wasn't even doing anything. Damn it. Shit. No. Go away. Crap. Slide. Oh, yeah. It's all thanks to Lee and the target practice. Come on, come on, come on. Gotta keep going. Oh, shit. Hey. No. Wait, what? No one? No, it's gotta be the clone, right? Why is he helping me? Oh, maybe under Lithos's orders. No one. Oh, I didn't actually have to do anything. Okay. That is so cool anyway. No, right, because no one would still have a bit of his memories, right? It wouldn't be the true no one, but it would still be partially like him. Before facing this no one, you ask the other no one a question. Would I have left with Lithos had I never been stopped? Well, quite likely, because he'd always try to stop me from recalling all the good memories. People have no choice but to choose a different path if they can't remember all the good things that happen. They're made to believe that nothing they do ever matters. And that's how they become ascendants. But there's no way Lithos would have let me become one, even if I believed that becoming an ascendant was my only choice. He can't stand not being in control of things, so he probably would turn me into a transcendent at most. No one! Familiar figure turns around to face this way in Naruto. This voice. Voice? Your eyes. You remember the name No One, but not this incident. What do you mean? Being sharp as ever said no one, this young man tilts his head in confusion. Wait, no one. Just hear me out. I know you might not remember me, but... No. My memories are quite complete now. And I understand what's bothering you. There's another real me in Babylonia, right? Where you're even commanded. You remember all that? Then why? Are you still helping Lithos? I only started remembering all these after becoming a transcendent, and after that incident. That's also when I remember you, Watanabe, Lee, Commandant Simon, Captain Palma, and Lillian. I remember the right path I choose for myself. Let's talk about you instead. How do you still remember the name No One? Lithos took me here and... Wait, that's a weird question. What's wrong with that? Am I not supposed to remember it? You've been in a state of memory loss. Or rather, a bunch of your clones here with no memories. So you're the real deal. Of course I'm the real deal. I remember everything. But you don't remember having met me. What? It's possible that your memories have been tampered with, which is something Lithos does a lot. Either that or... Oh my god, right. Right. How could I fucking forget? Lithos messed with no one's memories before, when trying to test him to convince him to become an ascendant. I completely forgot about that. So that's why I keep forgetting stuff too. Because it's one thing if it's like we're going through simulations, but again, it's like, how do we not have memories of stuff? That's what. Right. Completely forgot about that, considering that's his expertise. My personal belongings to prove my identity, too. There's no need to prove anything to me. It's only an issue once you're out of here. Those clones don't have this jacket. What's inside it, do they? I couldn't see the ever used clearly. I touched one of them once, and your clones are all in lab outfits. Why are there clones of me here? I don't know. There were things Lithos would never tell me. He left me out of Project Attila after I lost his eye. Lithos can be gullible at times, but it's gonna take a whole lot of convincing to make him trust me on every single thing. I don't have any useful information with me. All I know is that he wants you to stay here and join Catilla's big family.
so you'll eventually become one of her eggs. That's what he said to me too. Have you seen my clones anywhere else? No, but I've heard these clones were transported from a secret lab near Fort Winter. Are you the very commandant that Grey Raven is leaving no stone unturned trying to find? Or are you one of the 5 they don't care about at all? Or maybe you are the true one, but Grey Raven has located one of the 5 and halted their pursuit of you. Fort Winter. There's no point thinking about any of that. You need to get out of here. Damn it, so we didn't investigate Fort Winter enough. Of fucking course. Or again, maybe the clones were already taken by that point before when they went to retrieve the stuff, because otherwise they would have blown up the whole thing instead. Yeah, that's probably it. What's wrong with your eyes? Why bother asking when you don't even remember me? The person you remember isn't even me anyway. Try me again with a different question. What exactly were those other creatures you defeated? It was an autonomous community of interest of humanoids. What did you just say? Red Tide holds the information to deceased. Correct. Cadilla has gathered compatible large shards for the information and fused them into humanoid creatures using her tree of life. She then assigns a role to each of these shards to maintain complementarity and coordinated unity, like a community of interest comprising humanoids, or a harmonious community, if you will. Let those Sandy obtain that technology of fusing their consciousnesses from mankind. Ah, great, I see. So that's what he used that research for. Because I was wondering, it's like, even if they did get this information, we haven't really seen them do anything with it specifically. So all that was being used for Project Cadilla, because again, that was like the beginning. So these consciousnesses came from those who fled here. It's, exactly. Most people came here thinking this place would be a paradise. The comfort of mother and the rumors of rebirth hold an irresistible charm for those who are desperate. Ah, right. The defectors. I see. So that's what happened. Moreover, it's no mere fairy tale. All you need to do is stay in this paradise for a few days and get a few injections. When you wake up, you'll bid farewell to your constantly deteriorating body and be reborn as an immortal magical sea girl. Your body will be yours alone, but your consciousness will transcend humanity and understand everything. And you'll be able to get rid of anyone who rubs you the wrong way. What's so bad about that? All this to say that you don't need to show them pity, nor should you try to make peace with them, even if they were driven to, out of desperation. Is there no way out of this? There's supposed to be still some humanity left in them. That's exactly why I'm asking you to be careful. Back in the Golden Age, there was a notebook that people believed you'd die if you had your name written in it. A bunch of people wrote the names of game producers in there. We're living through a time where all our conflicts and differences are more intensified than ever. Not to mention that they've been driven out to desperation. People who've never experienced the terror of power but find themselves going from powerless to having everything overnight are sure to become demon lords, feared the world over. You've known all along, haven't you, that there's no negotiating with that kind of creature. But you had your hopes up anyway, seeing as you're able to communicate with them in language. Yeah. Are you taking the last injection? I can't see you clearly, but I can smell the blood on you. Yes. Do you want to stay here and be reborn as a magical sea girl? Like hell I do. Do you know how to get out of here? It's tricky. You can head to the control room to call for help, because that's the only place with signals. I can point you in the general direction. But that doesn't mean you'll have the clearance to establish a connection. Even if you do, you might end up with an ascendant on the other side of the line. Lammy has the ability to disguise herself as others, but she might not cooperate. And it's highly likely Litos is going to find out about this. So, we'll have to kill him to start with. Correct. What if we can't just get a hold of anyone? Is there nothing else we can do? Actually, you can just go back in Cadilla. You just say what I think you just said. We are right inside Cadilla's. Wait, what? but it's around with no motion. This space itself is a huge hetero creature, closely connected to Cadilla like the heterosapiens at Puglia Forest Park, and it feels like Cadilla. Oh! Wait, really? I see. That's why we kept always saying that it felt like the space was alive. Kind of reminds me like how, there was like, I don't remember what piece of fiction it was. It's kind of like, even though you're inside of a whale or a monster or something like that, there's like an actual civilization or some people were actually alive in there the whole time, right? So is it something similar to that? I guess it would kind of explain it. Right, and because we are underwater, so... okay. At least now it's starting to make more sense. And again, if Cadilla does have control over this place, it does explain why all the randomness that happens here. People who die here will become part of the floor, get absorbed by Cadilla, should then give birth to them again. Are you saying this is Cadilla's cradle? Lintos likes to refer to it as that. You've come up with names like Giant Whale and Deep Star, but it is what it is, no matter what they call it. Oh my god, it is! It's like the whale. God damn it. Okay, good. Now I have an actual understanding of what this area even is. Because I was like, it can't just be a simulation or something, right? But it's like, okay, the memory of clones and all that shit. Got it. This place is fixed at the bottom of the deep sea while carrying us. And I've been waiting for a chance to unlock it so we can float to the surface. That's the only way for people to discover and eliminate it before it turns into a disaster. Wait, really? No one's helping us out with that? I guess that's kind of why he's all on his own. How do we make that happen? We might stand a chance that the storage room holding all the copies of mine is still there. Except what to do with Lithos then. We have to find a joystick that controls it. And then we have to find someone who can withstand the water pressure to dive into the deep sea to unlock it. What is this joystick you're talking about? That's another consciousness that controls Cadilla. Do you know Voodoo and Loki? Cadilla is like a mad woman. That's why we need another consciousness to keep her sanity in check. I guess so. Fair. Explains how ferocious she was when she killed Shirtle. I met some who've had their consciousness integrated. There's a total of 3 consciousnesses keeping Cadilla in this place under control. Cadilla herself and 2 of her stable minds. Take one of them out of the equation, you end up with a continuous collapse, like the one that's happening now, and we all die in the deep sea. Is it possible for the cradle to die? Maybe. As long as Cadilla's alive, they can rebuild the cradle. What does one need to become Cadilla's second consciousness? You need to meet 2 conditions. Your own mind has to be stable, and you have to be accepted by Cadilla first. Oh, is that what she was trying to do? Trying to get me to be the replacement. You can expel prematurely and become one of her children if she doesn't like you and rejects you. All you need to do is die if you meet these conditions. The roots of the tree of life are buried everywhere here, made to accept consciousness with the red tide. And I'd coexist with her if she doesn't dislike me. No one can coexist with her for an extended period of time. She'll shape a consciousness into one of her children before it's crushed. You might become one of those anemones that crawl all over the place, or a magical sea girl, or emerge into an egg. Which means another way to do it is to sacrifice a more stable enough consciousness to turn that person into Cadilla's second consciousness. In that case, there's no avoiding the sacrifice. Only 3 people meet this condition. Nolan, Lamia, yourself. So, in case communication fails and you're forced to use this method, who's most likely to be sacrificed? Wow, all the same. Really? Come on. Bitch. Running into him here feels like a bad joke. Don't even know how he went blind and which part of his memory is missing. Don't know if you can justify sacrificing him a second time under these circumstances. Why can't it be me? No, that's exactly why we have to... Yeah, true. What's that? Nothing. Let me think. He's right. best bet would be to head down to the control room and call for help. If that fails, then two of you are good as dead. Because for time and the scale of destruction that this space carrying countless hetero creatures is going to wreak havoc on Earth is beyond anyone's imagination. They have to be nipped in the bud. Seeing as Task Force can't operate in the deep sea, you figure that you have to take Cadilla and break free from the seabed. Task Force can only eliminate both Cadilla in this space when they're both out on the surface of the sea. Sacrifice is in order, however, in order for that to happen. We should focus on establishing communication first before exploring other options. Right. Still hope. You can get no one to join you to look for ways to establish communication, see if there's a way to work around the situation. No one. I'm gonna head to control room first. Getting out of here is our best bet. I'm gonna go get help from the task force. And I'll figure out a way to bring Cadilla to the sea surface. What are you gonna do if you don't get a hold of anyone in the control room? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll drag Lithus and Lamia here to help if need be. Let's give your plan a shot. It's better than doing nothing. Wait, where are you going? I've got a few things to deal with. Huh? It's you just now that you were probably being a little too optimistic thinking he'd lend you a hand. This person is no longer known, so it only makes sense for him to refuse to help. What do you want to do now? Throw a wrench in Lithus' grand plans. Seems like we're up on the same thing then. How about we join forces? Fine, let's do this. This place is about to collapse. I was gonna take one last look at Cadilla, but I guess there's no time for that. Take one last look at Cadilla. Like you said, Cadilla has to go. I've been hearing her cry. She never wanted to give birth to all these dead people. That's what happens when people's wishes go awry. Everyone longs to be saved by a mother, but who's there to save the mother herself?
I guess because in the end, the same situation kind of happened with Amberia, didn't it? She didn't want to be that monstrosity that humanity had made her out to be. But in the end, at least Rosetta was able to help her out by ending her suffering. And from no longer being a pawn of the ARU. In the future, anyway. Come with me. I'm sure we can work this out. Send someone who's covered in wounds from head to toe. Fine. But given how far we've come, the world's as good as dead if we let her go. But Cadilla cannot choose her own death. Other creature's body can heal as many times as it needs to in the punishing. We can't encounter organizations like Babylonia if we want a solution. Well, let's go. I'm a transcendent now. Got it. Oh, right, yeah. Forgot. Transcendents still technically have a connection to it. Oh, shit, wrong button. Okay, 55%. I want to at least hopefully get to like 70-ish% before I end the stream. The two of you navigate through countless collapsed passages toward the control room. Along the way, hetero creatures come pouring out of the collapsed walls like animals trying to flee a forest fire. Every last one highly aggressive. To them, one of you is a traitor who deserves nothing but death, while the other is sacrificed to be captured. A single mishap is all it takes for the two of you to become their prey. It doesn't help that you're severely wounded and slowing down the two of you. Excuse me for being human. Oh, right, the 48 hours before I'm fully taken in by the injection. At an 8-hour trek, you and no one finally find the entrance to the control room. By the door looks at a bunch of hetero creatures, to no one's surprise. Think you can get rid of them on your own? There's someone else in the distance. I thought you couldn't see things clearly. I can hear Cadilla crying.
Someone is holding her egg down that way. Could be Lamia. Let's take a detour to catch him. Alright. Find the kind of monsters by the door, you head down the way Noah's pointed out, and sure enough, you see Lamia. Holding an egg in one hand and wields a weapon in the other. Kind of the head of creatures like. Every time she swings her weapon, she pauses or goes mad for a moment. Like as though she's possessed or having her consciousness devoured. What exactly is that egg? It's in the relic.
Oh my god, it is. I was thinking in the back of my mind, it's like, since Cinderella's no longer here and said that Lamia has her, I'm like, is it actually the case that she's already been reborn as the egg?
I see. It actually has.
The one-wing transcendent that follows around Vonica?
Yes. Her mind isn't stable enough for her to become a complete egg. She only managed to become something that seems like one because Cadilla is her mother.
Oh. Again, why a bit of her thoughts had seeped into Lamia's consciousness a bit. Now that actually makes sense.
Is she dead? Can't tell for sure. She'd probably end up becoming an even more powerful magical girl if she managed to hatch from the egg.
Did you just say hatch?
Yeah, she's not gonna hatch in her current state. Wait, I remember you saying that does want me to become one of Cadilla's eggs.
Cinderella is already in. Oh, does Cadilla want to make another egg?
That's a cakewalk for Cadilla. No one said that the egg was only big enough to hold one single consciousness. So we better get out of here as soon as we can if we don't want to become one with her.
Oh, I see. Meld us together. Oh, right. And then that ties into the mind fusion info. I see. Wow. So it really did need all that information. The mind fusion and the other one. The duplication. Right.
Why did she go to such lengths of becoming a hetero creature now? Because she heard about Kugawa Kurono's death one afternoon and she crossed off visit Kugawa Kurono from her wish list in tears.
Oh, no, right. Yeah, because I was about to say, it's like, yeah, because didn't she have something for Kugawa Kurono? She had like a history.
He failed again, mister. He is coming back to see Mother again even at the cost of picking the wrong path.
Oh, right, because he was a part of Project Cadilla initially, right? That's why he actually knew how to do a lot of those other projects back then.
Let me be reborn by Mother, she pleaded to the agent. I want to know if Mother remembers me. I can become your key if it works. My final wish.
Ah, that's how he was able to take full control of the situation. If he could have killed them both. How do you even know about this?
They let their guard down around me sometimes. What do you know about Kugawa Kurono?
It's a long story. Just know that I was one of the people responsible for ending it once and for all.
Anyhow, both Litos and his agency, the egg is important. They think it's an amplifier of some sort, and you've seen its effects already. When an unstable mind becomes an egg, it amplifies its power and transfers the amplified power to its user, which messes up the user's mind. In other words, it's difficult for her to use the egg by herself. Establishing a mind connection with an ascendant is a serious burden. There's no guarantee one can cut it off unilaterally. It's a bargaining chip. Keep this in mind, you shout out Lamia's name, which stops her hand in midair longer for a weapon. Your mind is already a mess. In this, the mermaid clutches the eggs in her arms even more tightly, fearing it might be snatched away the next second. Even in those moments of hesitation, the hetero creature still keeps their distance from her, the egg she's holding. You too. I know there's a control room here. We should work together for now, Lamia. What you're trying to do is exactly what we're trying to do, too. Are you sure you want to work with an ascendant? No, not an ascendant, but you, Lamia. But I am ascendant. It depends on the person. Or work with Gabriel, for example. We all need to get out of this place, and you need a mind connection, too. So let's join forces. The mermaid says a hesitation. The creature reaches around her, eyeing the egg in her hand, still too afraid to take their chances. For Lamia met these two again, she thought about how to break the ice. She thought about how to best explain herself, so they understand that she never intended to work with Lithos, or she wished to fight them. But she was sure that nothing she had to say would lessen one bit of their hostility toward descendants. While she did think about putting on the disguise of an innocent bystander costume, doing so would mean that she wouldn't be able to conceal the giant crystal egg in the shell. Never did it hit her, though, that they would ask her to join forces without first asking her to justify herself.
The legendary Grey Raven Commander has no choice but to ask for help.
She nods, I'll be in it then. Great. Now pass me the egg before I mess up your mind even further.
I can't give you this.
Lamia doesn't dislike this particular human whom she's been working with this whole time. She's happy to keep their relationship the way it is. She can be glad to stay in touch with the human, same way Lillian and they do with them. As long as they're willing to stop being the hero they are for just a few moments.
This is mine. I'm not giving it to anyone.
Knows very well how important this egg is. The frame won't hold for much longer if she doesn't bring the egg back to Luna. She might even lose her status as an ascendant, which will turn her into a mere corrupted. Moreover, the egg is all she has to make all her wishes come true.
I can work with you, but I'm not giving you this.
Okay. Fine. So you try to make peace as you take a few steps back, Lamia loosens up a little among the hetero creatures. So, let's start by establishing a mind connection.
But it's going to corrupt your mind, Beacon.
Not much I'm aware of. Lithos is still alive. We need to get ourselves sufficiently ready before heading into this territory that holds dear. We need to figure a way to call for help in the control room. It's our only chance to get out of this place safely.
It's our only chance.
And we have to defeat Lithos. That's the least we can do. The person fall like an apple if they have their plate too full. Well,
Sure.
step by step she approaches the human with the egg, weapon, and a swarm of hetero creatures. Yeah, boy. Okay, this is gonna take some getting used to. But at least we're working together now.
Water everywhere. This is also one of Lithos' defense measures. It seems that he's regained control over this place.
Well, I see something there. No, come on. No, let me check. Oh. Oh, I just get to collect it. Okay. Sure. Don't know what I would need it for, but I'll take it.
Only I can get through. Keep moving onward. Alright, you can come over now.
Great. Oh, really? That was it? Damn. Thought there'd be something more. But I guess it was actually more story than I actually was doing anything. His cat. Oh, great. What's that supposed to entail?
Anyway, I should see if there's anything useful. Access control should be back to normal now, right?
Or not.
What a hassle.
Yeah. Okay, I see something that looks like an egg in there.
I should be able to find some information there.
And how the fuck do I get there? Is there a door? Let me check. No. Okay. Guess I just could do the normal way. Oh, okay, yeah, because it's the next door over. Right. Excuse me. Paging Dr. Asshole, known as Pigman. There's a couple things I can research, but I want to check this out first. There we go. This has to give me something. I don't know what it does, but it has to give me something. I refuse to believe it's for nothing. Alright, let's check. Document 1. Professor Kilgore Trout makes public confession in his new autobiography. Number 7411 people initiated joint petition for march in support of Professor Kilgore Trout. Seen among the marchers. Okay. Right, because we were talking a bit about that from with Shorthold. Dude, I still can't believe he actually died. I'm honestly shocked. I didn't think he would. Or at least, maybe not until much later, when we were like close to getting out of here. Or at least when dealing with the final boss. Well, these things happen, I guess. Oh, come on. No! Oh, check. There we go. Death row inmate body experiment contract to be scrapped. Old news. Many know about this. Is there a report? Watch the writing blurred. Check it later. Project Cadilla, a cheap... Right, because they did talk about using prisoners for that project initially. Termination of sentence for Professor Kilgore Trout may prove difficult. Professor Kilgore Trout signed death row inmate body experiment agreement. Give her progress made in experiment for uploading mind data. Some archived news reports. I gathered them all for now. I should lead the way I came. Unless it gets locked and people attack me. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah. Just go down this path again. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. There's a lot of security doors for this place. Having limited the header creatures I've been telling you, you perk up and turn your attention back to the old news you just found. Did Lithos put all these together? Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. No! Fuck. Oh, okay, here we go. A reporter from a news agency received the latest novel by Professor Kilgore Trout. Except for early life anecdotes, the book details on how the protagonist, a psychiatrist about 15 years old, manipulated and drove 13 individuals to... Oh my god. All were patients who he had treated for mental illnesses, with the latter half of the book including the actual case files of the 13 patients. With the repeated verification of the book's authenticity, the reporter decided to report to the police. Oh, okay. As a renowned psychiatrist and psychologist, Professor Kilgore Trout has helped countless patients and assisted the police in solving numerous cold cases. 13 people he incited to. All had criminal records, but were largely exempt from punishment due to their mental illnesses. According to the reporter's detailed investigation, during the 15 years Professor Trout worked as a psychiatrist, he assisted the police with identifying around 100 criminal cases involving mentally ill individuals, with 13 believed to have been driven to. In an interview, he disclosed his motive: to test if those who justify murder with mental illness would themselves resort to the same reasoning from that. Okay, I'm just gonna skip through all this again, because either way, it's like, for some reason it's just showing a blank screen for most of the time anyway. Okay. Let's see. Should be right after this. Yet, it still hasn't stopped people from speaking out for him. So far, 7,411 people have initiated a joint petition online organized an offline march. It was only after the march in support of Professor Kilgore tried to come to an end that people discovered a man resembling him in photos from the event. He refused to disclose any further information. However, according to a source, Professor Kilgore Trout indeed managed to escape from prison during that time. This is how it all went down. Ah, boy, he used like hypnosis powers or something. Oh, come on. Let me actually read the damn thing in my own time. Bitch. Oh my god, there's so much stuff here. The police have yet to discover further evidence linking Professor Kilgore Trout to the 13 after his last autobiography was sent out. Supporters have raised doubts about whether the autobiography was actually written by Professor Kilgore Trout himself. Was it by a journalist who has been bribed to send Professor's reputation down the drain? Was the Professor forced to write the autobiography? Until now that we're finally keeping them confined, the Empress now refused to reveal further information. The particular piece only comes from the title. Okay, here we go. Nice. Finally get this one. On July 13th, the death row inmate body experiment contract plan will be officially terminated. Approved by the world government, this 3-year plan began as a voluntary public welfare contract signed by death row inmates and their families. Upon receiving compensation, inmates agreed to participate in related medical experiments. Over the past year, however, multiple instances of backdoor dealings among the institutions involved have been exposed. In the name of the world government, the institutions enlist inmates without consent for inhumane, torturous experiments. After the scandal broke, massive protests ensued, halting the plan within 3 days and leading to the explicit legal prohibition of human experimentation. The mind data blank has been lost. Someone must be helping him. He escaped. Through cloning and mind backup, the deceased can be reborn in the of a mother. Even after conversion to mind data, individuals retain the ability to revert to a human form, granting immunity to fatal injuries and incurable diseases. Humanity will achieve true immortality the day Project Hill is successfully developed. Apart from the incident report, most of these documents are just like clippings, nothing but bits and pieces of old news. Someone was after this certain Professor Kilgore Trout. They seemed like what came out of his pursuit. Why were they after him, though? Go on looking for clues that this question staying on the back of your mind. It isn't long before you find an old novel under the shelf. A printed photograph that vaguely captures the figure of a young man falls out of a novel when you opened it. I'll take a closer look later. No, don't look later, dumbass! Wait, that has to be, what is it? That has to be Vonnegut, right? Is that why he knew so much about these projects in the first place? And why he actually probably is one of the only other people closest to like information on Ascension to begin with? Put the photo aside and carry out looking for further information. Plus, he would be the one person to know, like, to get Dr. Pickman in on this and all that other stuff because of his history. There's nothing, however, save for bloodstains until you reach the very last page. The Mister came here again today, and he chose me. Father said I had to make him happy because he's a very prestigious man. But he didn't do anything. We talked about me and my life here, and about the other fathers and Rose. He asked me a lot of questions about what I learned too. Worked up the courage to ask him his name, but he just pointed to the book on my bed and asked what I thought of it. I told him I just liked the title of the book. I picked it up for the donations. I thought it was a fairy tale book. I didn't understand a thing when I actually started reading it, though. He told me to start addressing him as Vonnegut when I could read it, and that he would come to pick me up if we meet again. Am I supposed to believe that, or can I even wait until then? Vito's been gone for over a month, and Father only brought back his Rubik's Cube. Ah, the other children followed the experiment. So Vonnegut was connected to him. Now I finally understand why he knew so much of this information. But again, doesn't explain who he really is, though. What does this passage mean? Does it have anything to do with the news just now? Vonnegut. Could the truth be as simple as the news makes it out to be if all of this is pointing toward the past of Vonnegut the Ancient? What around you seems to go blurry right when you're about to think a little deeper. Your mind begins by interfering with your judgment. Shit. I'm hoping to pick the brains of your local guide, but see that he's standing afar, fully attentive to the entrance, while Lamia looks this way, so home the egg. Not a good time to think about these things for now. Did you find something? An old book from Lithos that's not going to help us leave this place. But are you okay? What's wrong? You seem like you're crying. Question, you see your face through the reflection in the puddle. Look like you're on the verge for a breakdown, having had to live through too much pain and suffering. You're turning a blind eye to everything you've been through, pretending it didn't bother you. Here you are, finally losing your cool. No, can't let it get to me. Everything that needs to be done, you know you got no time to whine or become anyone's burden. I'm fine. Really? Yeah. We can look into these once we're out of here. Time's running against you. We need to prioritize calling for help. Look up, you break into a smile that shines through the wounds and blood stains on your face. 37.5 hours. Dang, this is so confusing. I'm trying to figure this out. Yes, finally. That took fucking forever, man. Like, I wasn't even really. Like, part of it was me thinking of the pattern, and the other was me trying to guess it. But thank God. It's annoying. Alright. Good, I can enter the damn room. Oh God, I see that there. What the heck is that thing? A portal? Great.
ように消えろ。邪魔者め、出ていけ。滅びろ。出ていけ。一体沈め、海の底に。
I was trying to defeat all the enemies. Nah, it's fine. I got what I needed. How am I doing? Alright, 67%. Decent. He took away the documents he just found and continued searching for hope in this maze of a control room. After 2 hours of battle and search, the trio finally comes across a transmitter that Lithos has been using to communicate with the world outside. Tinker were very hoping it would work, but see there are no signals.
Let me give it a try.
Sorry about that. Just eating some goldfish, because this is my lunch. It's fine. Good enough for now. She nods and proceeds to tinker with the transmitter. Operates the machine in awkward movements, every single step taking what seems like an eternity. Seems like someone fiddling with a machine they've never seen before with the help of a manual.
Are you familiar with this transmitter? Well, I wasn't, but I am now.
Find anything useful?
No, but I know how to work this machine now.
I didn't see you take a crash course just now, though.
Well, let's just say I did.
Nothing can surprise me now.
I found a few messages that little stuff hidden in the punishing that only Ascendants can see.
If only Bianca were here.
Vonnegut and his Ascendants came up with a lot of intricate stuff with the punishing and the corrupted. It's pretty surprising. I thought you were supposed to fire the punishing as a railgun like what Luna did.
Mr. Wilson.
Well, this should be good enough for us to handle most of our enemies. Gabriel always says that only the weak need to get together to work on their tools and techniques. These things don't really mean a thing when they're up against someone overwhelmingly powerful. Power grows at a diminishing rate, though, so he was never even aware of this.
Never even aware. Huh. And she'd be correct. Gabriel's not alone in his ignorance. Most people are trapped in their ignorance without realizing it. It's easy for one to take things they encounter as the only truth and be clueless or show no interest at all in things beyond their understanding. Many are those who fail to even realize just how ignorant and biased they are. Something just happened?
Huh?
In fact, there's something different about you.
It's nothing. I just saw some reflections.
What?
I don't want to talk about it. We need an identity card.
Back to square one, huh?
It's just gotten up and running. I'm no expert when it comes to cracking security. That ancient's minions sure like to make things complicated.
Let's split up and look for the ID card then.
I'll take care of it. Let's cut off the mind connection for now so you can rest a bit.
You know, Lemmy will do just fine on her own, since information gathering is one of the few things she's good at. Alright. A sign for cooperation, and my connection is quickly severed. Then the mermaid dissipates without looking back. Able to continue using the egg, Lamia conceals herself and carefully dodges collapsing structure as monsters emerge everywhere. Soon, she comes across the nearby patrol and corrupted. Herself instead reads the memory unit's memory shell.
Cinderella, I need your help here. Is it nearby?
Touching the exact spot she saw in the footage, she notices that the wall itself comprises a punishing heterocrystalline.
Lintos isn't even trying to guard this place. It's because humans can reach this place at all?
Or is there another trap hidden in there? Despite the risk, Lamia knows she has to give it a try and see if it leads into the way out of here. If she opens it, she sees a yellowed file of paper with a discolored ID card.
Kana Kurino.
Right, because... Oh, is that maybe who she actually is? Cinderella?
Because, she did say that she hated him.
She wanted revenge on him.
Biological age 16, prior to becoming Cadilla. CB103 was a child of natural birth, born without the help of the Tree of Life. Her father was researcher Kuga Kuno.
Oh!
Never mind that. But again, it's like, what was it mean by her father? Like, adopted her or actual child? After Blank, Kana Kurino was confirmed to also have the potential to become Cadilla. The surgery to merge her with the tree is set for December 23rd at 12:21. The Tree of Life.
It's the second to check into the tree that nurtures the dead present in his mind. It's off the technologies from back in the day. Maybe checks a day in the case file and sees this happened before the punishing outbreak.
Which means they've got to have modified her then.
Trying to process what she just read, let me place the ID card with the name Kana Kurino on the console center area.
Let's see if it still works.
The console, however, displays a message in bold. Insufficient balance. Please recharge or try another ID.
Wait, are you seriously making your own people pay to unlock this thing? When this is your turf?
It's believed she gives the console several more tries but getting nothing but the same response.
I really want to find Lithos for a fight now.
Amy feels anger boiling in her, but knows that it has to wait. Let's see if there's a workaround.
Guess I'll try my luck with whoever corrupted.
All of a sudden, a muffled sound finds its way into Amy's auditory module. Like an invitation. A trap has been set up.
Quick, hide here. Cinderella? He isn't going to find us this time.
A single-winged girl makes her way into the depths of the room with a smile. It's guiding the lost mermaid. Meanwhile, with the help of your local guide, you've been going through the rooms to try to find clues. You're into the dirt room, a notebook picking up from the crack in a collapsed floor catches your attention. No, can you grab that notebook for me? It seems to be red-tied below.
Sure, where is it?
It's the two of you, one severely injured and the other 90% blind. A good 3 minutes to finally pull out another notebook from the crack. 3 things: case file, ID card, and a blank contract. In the case file is the photograph of a girl who you believe you met before.
Cinderella.
Quickly go through the file and learn that it belongs to the subject coded XX003. The subject was a modestly successful biotech expert in the Golden Age. For years she lived with hereditary cancer, and after several recurrences, opted out of treatment. To participate in Project Adela, then at 41. She devoted everything she had to the Tree of Life. This is true. But it was a failed attempt nonetheless, because XX03 only inherited her scientific talent, and not her requisite personality. If there's anything this elaborate project achieved that the clone technology couldn't, it was the fact that her mind data was put in a test subject for the CB series. She was therefore reborn with a new body. Cured of her hereditary disease, she took advantage of the opportunity to swap into an appearance that everyone would find pleasing. She didn't care much about it. Her mother, go to CB107, after giving birth to XX03, suffered from consciousness and organ rejection caused by the tree of life. She later soon led to her death. X6003 still be considered her, given the way things turned out. Okay. So, they're not directly related, but Cinderella was birthed through her mother, being Kurano's daughter. Okay. Again, because she had the disease, so she would at least be reborn, but not the same way they expected her. Subject brief. Thank you for participating in Project Cadilla. Since project still under development, we would like to take this opportunity to go over its many limitations. 1. The ultimate objective of this project is for you to be reborn with your original memories, personality, and all knowledge intact. 2. It's currently ineffective for those brain dead or severe brain damage or disease. 3. Per Article 1092 of the Science and Technology Progress and Protection Act by the World Government, those who have signed agreements and claim the special benefits will be notified upon admission. Your cooperation is requested if diagnosed with less than a year to live to fulfill agreement obligations. Further Appendix 3 for permissions. Due to the unique nature of this project, we would also like to draw your attention to the potential risks. 1. This project involves digitization of your mind, and upon completion, your body as a human will cease to live. 2. Due to technical requirements, anesthesia will not be administered during the digitization of the mind. Right, because it still needs to go through your active mind. In addition to the data in your mind, you will also agree to leave your biological data with us. The code. Once your mind is digitized, we will not be able to offer you visitation rights of any form. Signature is subject of failure. 100 pages of notebook are printed with screenshots or web pages. It can seem like a nostalgic old man's effort to not forget what's happening. Is this an excerpt from some interview show? Defeated images and dialogue carry a witty and humorous exchange between Kilgore Trout and another person whose name has been redacted. I should probably bring these back and look into them. Or is it actually Vonnegut Kilgore Trout? Ooh, that would be a twist. Like the person who was deemed supposedly to have been dead is actually alive the whole time, and again would explain why he knew so much about Project Dylan. So he might help unlock the console. Should we send this to Lamia or ask her to come back? Okay. We're getting fewer earthquakes and collapses now, which I think is a sign that Litos has contained the chaos you caused earlier. Once I'm gone, you'll only make yourself an easy target to either Litos or the humanoid creatures that you stay here. Alright, let's go together. Sorry. So trying to paint here because I'd love to, but I'm a transcendent now. It's okay. Let's keep going. Yeah, because like I can't really blame him for that. Because again, he is a transcendent. It would only make my situation worse. Even if he is on the other side, like still. As the two groups approach each other with different documents in their hands, the cradle on the verge of death recalls when this nightmare first began. No, her memories were already filled with nightmares unique to the Golden Age before that day even came. This isn't what the higher-ups wanted to see when they decided to invest in you. We're making improvements now, and improvement takes time. Says someone who's still got the time for a fling with the test subject. It's meant to test and see whether the test subject's stability of mind data is correlated to their emotions, but when they were alive. Which is why I decided to show her love and encourage her to love. And how's that coming along? CB103 is the only mother who survived, perfectly compatible with the Tree of Life. We proved that compatibility indeed correlates with the test subject's emotional stability. And the little bird told me that you and the test subject had a naturally born child that you named Kana Kurano. Is it true? Ah, okay. Yes. That's one hell of an experiment right there. Is this also part of your plan too? Still, they illegalized human experimentation with inmates not so long after Professor Trout's incident. What we're giving you now is not just money. The higher-ups weren't going to stick their noses into your research and would have been happy to keep their mouth shut if you got something to show for your work. But we are not seeing any progress these days. You're not raising your child here with the public funds. You put her to good use, so get rid of her. You're running short on both time and money here. If this rebirthing just doesn't work, you probably want to start coming up with something that's going to please the higher-ups. Speaking of which, that Queen Bee system built on the Tree of Life was too shabby at all. It lets Catilla do mind connections with her children and make them obey her orders, right? Ever heard of thought control from one of the hot novels these days? A new obedient army that follows every command without question. Ideal, isn't it? Personality and memories aside, talent is all that matters. But I haven't seen progress on your end, and Catilla's being anything but aggressive. Quite a waste, wouldn't you say? I don't think Professor Godwin would want to. Then you either replace him or call it a day before the police come busting your butt. Oh, Godwin. Yeah, he was the guy who was trying to do that thing at Fort Winter before getting killed along with the other researchers. Man emphasized the phrase, call it a day in a tone that's anything but normal. Kurno takes us to pronouncement of death or reprieve for the wild project at hand. Only 31 researchers remain, sadly going over to 47 guinea pigs still alive. Dream of fraternity they're trying to realize, all disregarding all taboos and the law, is the very definition of insanity without a single bit of romance. Your funding will be halved. You have 9 months left, so make that count and prove your worth. Funding gets halved. What do we do next? We're too deep into all this illegal stuff to get off the hook. We need to have a meeting with Professor Godwin once he's feeling well enough. Even the best outcome requires comprehensive expenditure cuts. But the subjects to us, everyone involved. God only knows that this utopia is going to see the light of tomorrow. Ah, I see. Yeah, that's how come it's like he didn't really feel a thing when that happened, because he was always about that. Just for the sake of testing if they could reach immortality. Alright, I think we'll do this last one, that'll be the end of the stream. Then I'll do my Atelier Yumiya stream later. Found deployed phantoms, let me reaches out the console piled with numerous mining devices. There is, in addition, a bizarre schedule that's been repeatedly corrected with both handwritten and printed corrections. Colonel Kurno's memo. 1. Play hide and seek with. He won't find you in places without surveillance. Surveillance is everywhere. 1. 2. Is inside the monitors. Supposed to be deceased born to mom. People said his data was lost a long time ago. Blink said he came here to visit old friends in the Tree of Life. Blink is going to help us. Blink is going to watch over us. Besides him, I only trust Mom and Sis. No, I gotta trust Dad. That's the only one who can keep us safe. 3. Don't hit the researchers. I need to join the Queen Bee system test. I need to earn points. Need to earn points. Need to earn points. Can't afford tomorrow anymore. Out of time. All those who pass the test get to earn points. Writing out lies and providing bodies for mutational experiments are the main source of funding here. Yeah, so that's why this whole thing has been going on so long. Even to when it affected Elisa and the former members of Silver Falcon. We shouldn't be subject for body mutation experiments. 4. Don't join the Queen Bee system tests. Don't go haywire, don't kill, don't be controlled. This isn't Mom's child. She's the only one who doesn't get controlled. 5. Keep emotions stable. Fuck emotional stability. What technology advances one day and they find out emotional stability, Mom's data stability, and tree of life compatibility are all unrelated. I don't want to do the test. I want to do the test. Wow. That crazy son of a bitch. Starting April 1st, points are required to exchange flavor enhancers for nutritional supplements and leisure and puzzle models. Points are earned through training completion, experiment participation, initial evaluation before distribution through the testing system. Points are awarded after the completion of test questions based on the test results for unified settlement.
What exactly are these tests? CB103 showed signs of frailty during the Queen Bee system test. For a development hiatus, it's imperative to select the new Cadilla substitute early. According to existing research by Professor Kugar Kurino, there exists a correlation between mind identification and emotional stability of test subjects. Attention must be paid to the following when supervising test subject participation in emotional tests. 1. Test questions are merely to provoke thought. Supervisors must prevent subjects from skipping reading and thinking to control the test. 2. As the monitoring devices are the most accurate means of measurement, supervisors need to ensure they're correctly worn. 3. Deduction point is meant merely as a preview. Actual assessment will be based on the feedback from monitoring. 4. Subject with low scores will be prioritized to transfer of EPFM. It's parameter based for frame mutation. Oh shit, okay. Do I have to wear all this? Luckily, she picks up the connection sensor wire for the equipment, wrapping herself in as the instructions dictate. It says here that I need to stay calm. Even I'm the happiest person in the world, all my needs have been met at this place. No. Oh, they answered the test correctly. Cover on the monitor device reflects Lami's true mental state. Seems like lying isn't gonna get anywhere. The score is just for preview anyway, so I might as well just tell the truth. That's close enough. To feel gloomy. It's hard enough living in this. Don't ask for too much. God damn it. Well, that one was easy. 1, 2. Oh. 99 point. I feel somewhat nauseous. These questions are so horrible. No, fuck that. Does everyone who's related to Cadilla need to sincerely answer yes to be able to survive? Yeah, that's cruel. It's like bringing the dead, fuck no. Why don't you say anything beyond bringing the dead? Like I said, I'm not answering these questions like that, okay? I mean, if he's dizzy, look at the remaining 100+ questions. They have to answer all those questions every single day? Fuck me. Oh, they were clones. I see. So Kana was the actual one here than this one. I see. So that's why she couldn't really forgive me. Test is over. I got some points left, and I brought the points for the model ship that you were talking about it before. The model ship? See, why are you always trying to make things happen for people? Is that what you want for yourself? Well, I probably just want to see you and Mom happy. See us happy. How in the world did you manage to bring the model ship here like this? Oh, right. Yes, because there was that one point, right? Like, for some reason, the model ship just stayed in one place, and then for some reason, it was just moved to somewhere completely different. So that's what it was. I have a service about that. Here it comes.
who's going to be there smiling for me down the road. Wow. Wait, so if my understanding is correct, is it that Kana Kurino was used as the core for Cadella? Or for creating the new egg, and Cinderella is the test subject, but she took up or lost one wing and only has the upper one? That's a thing. Unless somehow they confused the two or something. That's not something I'll ever be able to ask for. I'm just a replica that looks a lot like the real deal. Elka. Areas that should have been forgotten. She struggles, forcing a difficult smile at him with the same face as Kana's. She smile works, because Roma hesitates for a second for her only beloved child before her anger moved. It's funeral. Kana's wings are broken and her hair has been combed by mom. It's okay. Mother and Kana are the only people existing in the world. If Kana isn't coming back, does it matter she sacrifices herself for what remains of the world? Or we just for her wings that are causing her excruciating pain tears them off her sheer folds. As long as that means I can fulfill someone's desires. As long as I have the means, I won't be left all alone by myself. Even her hair that hangs over his shoulders, she can cut it off with blades on her wings. It's okay. If I can't fulfill your wish, all I have to do is become someone else. This is how you've always been navigating life, right? Memories in the cacophony of reality emerge, turn to a flood that gushes into your already chaotic mind. You're harvesting your touch yourself. Why is it that you never recognize me for the person I am as always I am? Consciousness is too frail and can't be hatched. Come one now. Please tell me who I am. Then we can begin to be one of you. Why is the demise taking around Lamia turned to red umbilical cords connecting her with a giant red egg? Ah, shit, of course it was. It was only at this moment that she realized that this Tesla machine had been a trap set for consciousness fusion from the start. Translucent screens flooded to her room like at times, revealing Robbie Lamia was already on the verge of chaos. The screens a plethora of hitter creatures found them. The control room sealed by all sides. Came for intense aggression, oddly different from the hitter creatures that surrounded Lamia before a tentative attack. Now seem like they're acting with clear instructions. There's no more time to think. There's just plenty of the crimson scene. Damn, okay. Well, yeah, I was right. So Cinderella is trying to pretend to be a Kana Kurino. Shit. Again, just shows how much of an asshole Pikmin really is. Hope he's burned in the deepest bowels of hell. I mean, I know he's a fictional character, but still, that doesn't excuse everything he did. Even if he says it was to give immortality to humanity. Oh boy, okay, how the fuck do I do this? Oh. It's recycled. XO3 is still alive. Self-cognition is already in turmoil, even if she's saved. Her self-cognition is already in turmoil, even if she's saved. Wait, there was another path there. Let's go. Yo, what's up, Guardian? I'm doing alright. How you been? Oh, you stupid bitch. Oh, it's like, it would always be stuck like this, okay. I found out it's Ayako Kawasumi, because it's like his birthday today. Oh, nice. Cool, I didn't even know that. No, come on. Hey, the fuck? No, let me go. Come on. How's your adventures with the fish? It's pretty good, honestly. Maybe a bit long, but I mean, to be fair, even if it's like just the stuff with Lamia, it is kind of like helping her strengthen her character and actually like develop as an individual specifically. So honestly, good with it. No, I need the move already. You stupid. God damn it. Okay, how the fuck am I even supposed to do anything about this? No, come on. Oh boy, this is actually a bit annoying. I don't even have any real control of it. Great, I can't go back either. I swear. It's not even any buttons, so I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? No! Seriously, what am I supposed to be doing? Do anything with that yet. Maybe like this? Please. No! Damn it. I guess I'm just supposed to keep going back and forth until I find the right puzzle? I guess? So now do this. There we go. No! Come on! I had it. Oh my god, this is so annoying. No! Seriously, what does it want me to do? It's not explaining anything. I hate this so fucking much. Like, literally, it's not explaining anything. I hate this. This is so fucking bad. Because, yeah, like I'm saying, it's like, it's giving me no control. I can't do anything. All I can do is move around back and forth, but it didn't tell me, like, oh, am I supposed to look up or down, left or right, or what? go up. Yeah, okay. There we go, finally. Thank God. That is annoying. 'Cause again, it didn't even explain to me like what's what direction or how many each block's moving. Like at least with the other one I could have some sort of idea, but this one was nothing. Let's give her a new name. One that truly belongs to her. Great, what am I supposed to do with these? Just walk forward. Yep. She reminds me of a bird that's good at camouflaging itself when it's little. Let's call her Cinderella. Be your true self. I will complete this plan for Mr. So let me be reborn by Mother. Great, now it's like a different version of the twins. As if I didn't have enough of those idiots.
私の目の前から消えろ。静かにしろ。泡のように消えろ。出ていけ。滅びろ。出ていけ。静かにし滅びろ。出ていけ。滅びろ。邪魔者め。痛い。出ていけ。滅びろ。邪魔者め。出ていけ。滅びろ。邪魔者出ていけ。滅びろ。邪魔者め。出ていけ。滅びろ。邪魔者め。痛い。出ていけ。滅びろ。出ていけ。滅びろ。邪魔者め。出ていけ。沈め。海の底に。
Don't get too caught up in the eggs' emotions. Wake up. Well, at least I didn't die in that battle, so I'll take that. But that's probably not the fun about this chapter.
ハイジを盗んだ悪い子。ここにいたんだ。
Alright, how much more I got left? Alright, 75. I think that's a good place to end it for now. I know, there's only 25% left, but like I said, I'm supposed to be doing my Atelier Yumi stream today. So I will put a hold on this for now, but at least I only have to do one more stream and I'll be all caught up with main story. So I'll see that for next time. And like I said, give me a couple hours and I'll be back to actually do the Atelier Yumi stream where I left off, where I'm supposed to be doing my first task as an alchemist. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream for today, especially now, again, getting more clarification on other characters as well, especially with Cinderella and kind of Vonnegut's identity. I have two hypotheses on like who he actually is as an individual, but I can't exactly say for sure. I'll have to see how it's all going to play out, but it'll be interesting. And I'm glad I'm getting this information now, especially since Vonnegut seems to be more involved in that chapter and stuff. Like up to date. But let me give a shout out to both Guardian Soulblade and Caesar Live for both showing up to stream. Great chat with you both. Like I said, give me a couple hours, do it till the Yumi. If you guys aren't already following the channel, please make sure that you follow. Appreciate it. Check my YouTube channel, post all the VODs, subscribe there as well. But this is Xandos Vibes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys next time.